Hey everybody, it is Ration Museum Bulletin number 36. Today is March 28th, the last stream of March. Hope everybody's doing fantastic. Let's see, we got a pretty solid roll call already. We got Angry Blacksmith, Curious Pete, Fordman, Sunshine, we got Corey, we got Marilyn. All right, caught up. Welcome everybody. Hope you've all had a darn good week. We've got a pretty good stream for you today. The problem from last week didn't get solved in terms of getting the scanning rig ready for very large items. The concept works great, so we can definitely scan things on our great big new mats. The grids that we're using. So you can see one in the corner here. So these grids. Speaking of what's in the corner there, let me flip to something else we got going on here. So now we got extra cameras so we can have one down inside there. But tonight's snackage is provided by two viewers. Corey is responsible for the two Walker's chips and the Seabrook chips that we're going to be trying. And Yossi has sent in the onion ring snacks and the Nescafe that we're going to be trying. Nick, let's see, wait, there we go. Nick has brought in all the related bits and pieces we're going to need for him to make frappe out of the Nescafe. So, hey Xeno Saga, and we got James Ortiz joining. We got Gail. The gang's all here, looking good. So I'm just gonna pull all these from there, but just wanted to show you guys the snacks first. So we got the little setup going again. Just give you some better angle on it. This is our current light box that we're, as you can see, flooding with clean, non-reflective light. It's actually working out really nice. And we got the little arm going on there. Hey Jesse, welcome to the stream. And we're able to position the camera wherever we need for the scanning. So when we're in the scanning program, let's see, we're gonna, just as a for instance, when we're in here, you can see the grid pops up really clean now. The very, very flat surface helped out a ton. Oh, I just got to make sure you guys can actually see what I'm talking about. But yeah, so wherever I happen to stop, we get a really nice angle on the grid, and it's working out great. So we'll be able to just turn things on, let them sit and rotate on there, and get some clean scans tonight. The bigger stuff is going to have to wait till we can build something, because the problem is that we're going to need to build something that, say, the camera starts here and then follows a path that literally goes about that far for the medium items. Maybe no, for the large items, but still, the extender arm idea that we're using right now. Even when we had two bolted together and we got it somewhat stable, it's just not a good solution for what we're looking for, because we're going to need to extend over an arcing space of about 15 feet of travel, for the camera itself. So we'll figure it out. We had some ideas today and we're talking it out. Certainly I'd like something as simple and hands-off as this so that we can put the camera in position and leave it there, but that's not necessarily a guarantee. So while we have that going, we've got some mail. Address scrubbed already, thankfully. I'll get better at that over time too. So we've got one thing that I snagged and a viewer donated item. See, I don't see Robert in the chat just yet, but we'll tell him to go back to whatever time this is. 8 minutes, go back to 8 minutes in. So he reached out in between streams and asked if the museum would like this item, and of course we would, absolutely. And he very generously donated it to the cause. So
is G. Schultz Robert?
Nope. Oh, welcome, G. Schultz. Good to have you. No, we're looking for Robert Sauerwein is his name as well in chat.
Okay.
And also, Yossi, when he shows up, definitely gotta let him know about the frappe.
Oh, for real? Yoshi.
If he shows up. Or when he shows up. Alright, that was a around the corner job. Make the most of the box. There we go. What we have there is a very nice condition Meal Combat Individual box from 1978. So the dates are all shifted. It's funny. So it's lot number 90, packed 578, inspection 580, and the 580 lines up with the packed. But that's so this is one they still have the 2-year run. Let's see. And then we'll just check and see if there's anything in here. Oh, there is. There's a accessory packet C in here. It's a really nice looking one. Big, wide C in terms of the font they used on that. I'm going to keep this with this. Box that back up. So yeah, very big thank you to Robert Sauerwein for this.
Corey says he has an 78 MCI case too.
Oh, nice. Would you mind putting this in the museum town? Get rid of that box. All right. So, also, we're gonna break this collection of snacks up into. We're gonna break this up into bowls for each of us, so we can continue to try them throughout the night. Let's see. Switch to that. All right. So we've got some of these onion ring snacks from Yossi. Whoa! Whoa! So that smells like fish and chips. Whoa, okay. So we got some fragrant fish and chips. Do what? Wow, we got a good night there. We got some Walker's Margarita Pizza. Hey Dave, welcome to the stream. AKA Booger Butt and Booger Butt. And we're going to try some katsu curry as well.
It's okay, Corey. We're not worried if it's a tad out of date. We're a tad out of date, so it's fine.
All right. No, you can have the ones that aren't all smashed.
Okay. The margarita one tastes like pizza Pringles.
That's what I started with, too.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wait, no, I started with the katsu ones.
The curry katsu kind of tastes like chicken tikka masala, but in a chip. I like it.
Now I'm trying the margarita pizza. Ooh!
Right?
You know, this is almost sacrilege, but you know what this reminds me of? Ketchup chips. We don't have them in the States.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, we occasionally have them in the States.
Heinz ketchup chips.
I didn't know. I used to have to order them from Canada.
Hey, these fish and chips ones are awesome.
I'm on the onion ring ones right now.
Mm-hmm.
G. Schultz is mentioning the bentos, the Frey Bentos pies from I think 3 streams ago. So last stream was here, over in the office, not scanning. Stream before was scanning. Stream before was trying to scan. Actually, I don't know. It might have been more than 3 streams ago. Gonna have to double check. But that was a fun one, which is actually a really good segue. Thank you, G. Schultz. Because actually, right before I switch into that topic, I'm gonna try the fish and chips one.
Really good.
Oh man. Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
And I didn't mean to skip over these onion rings. They're really good. Very good. Like biting into a restaurant onion ring. So the aside was, so that stream, the one where we ate the Frey Bentos pies, we were also doing restoration, attempted, amateur. We learned a lot. We're going to be doing another restoration stream, if all goes well, 2 weeks from today. I got disposable, like, full sleeve and apron, like, tops, I guess aprons with sleeves. Then we'll have gloves on. We'll have actual respirators with cans.
Yossi just joined.
Hey, Yossi.
We're eating your onion ring.
Yeah, right here we got a collection of snacks. Let's. Oop, nope, wrong one. Gonna flip to this one. So, currently have a bowl of a variety of these snacks. You'll recognize that one. And we're about ready to cook up some of the Nescafe as frappe. Nick brought his old gear and all that. Don't be sorry. No worries. But yeah, so that restoration stream, now we'll have proper protective gear. We'll have goggles. We'll have respirators. We'll have a smock pretty much. And then I got a what's it called? I got a smooth open? No. Oh gosh, I got the right can opener.
A soft open can opener?
Not soft.
Oh.
Well, I got the right kind of can opener.
You texted it to me.
So that
smooth edge can opener.
Smooth edge can opener. So I got a smooth edge can opener, so we can take the tops off and put them back on, or take the bottom off, and put it back on without damaging the cans. And I got museum grade metal sealing wax, so that we can take the rust off and then seal the metal with wax and keep it from getting any worse. And I got some applicator pads for that. I feel like one other thing.
Hold
on. We're going to be pretty set up.
Okay. 2 goggles. 2 respirators. Smooth edge can opener. 10 disposable full-size apron sleeves. And museum metal sealing wax.
Okay.
And applicator pads.
Okay, so that was all of it. But we'll be actually set up to do some real, some better attempts at the restoration, so that we're not making anything, only halfway done, and not wrecking any more cans of jelly. We'll talk trades at some point, I'm sure, Corey. Don't worry about saving them for us at this stage.
These pizza ones are good, Corey, but we also have so many snacks that we need to get through in the future.
Yeah, we're. I gotta say though, I really do look forward to coming in here because I tend not to eat a lot of random snacks throughout the week, and this is something that I very much look forward to.
Yeah, it's like a little treat for being good to your diet.
Indeed. I'm gonna grab my drink from next door, and I think Nick's gonna start on.
I'll get the water and the milk for the buffet.
Let's see, and switch to this camera for a second. So, I know it's not a museum item. It was just there when we started. I'll be right back. All right, so back. There we go. We can do that. So what I'm going to try and get going, I just realized I have all this stuff set up, and I didn't actually bring any items out here to scan yet. So that's going to have to happen.
Oh.
So let's see. Turn this off for a moment. Oh, we can leave that right there. Look, it looks good. That's the red mug stuff. So I've got to grab something to actually scan. So apologies for the dead air, but it's just going to be a moment. Actually, let me bring this camera in here. You won't hear me, but you can see me.
Okay. Bear with us, everybody. Sean's looking for stuff to scan in the other room, and I am going to show you how to make frappe shortly. But I want him to be here for it. I know. Can I remove the Nescafe?
Sure. Yeah. All right. You can keep talking. I didn't mean to cut you off the whole time.
Yeah, no worries. I wanted you to be here when I make these frappies.
All right.
Okay, cool. So this is Nescafe. Yossi sent it to us. Thank you very much. Basically, frappe is like a pretty big coffee item in Greece, Cyprus. Thanks, Yossi. Sending us a package with a webcam.
Oh, neat.
Much appreciated. So So it's pretty popular in the Middle East as well. So Cyprus is half Greek and half Turkish. It's also pretty close in the vicinity to Israel and other parts of the Middle East, so it might have gotten there. I don't know. Yossi, do they make frappes in, Israel? That'd be cool. But it was actually made by a guy named Dimitri Vakandios in Greece, about post-World War II, and right at the end of the Korean War, instant coffees really started to get popular, and Nescafe thought of a good idea. Well, we've been giving these guys, our coffee, in rations or in food supplies so long, so why don't we just try to sell them the instant coffee that they've been drinking all war long? And Dimitris Vakandios was a rep for Nescafe, and he decided that he was going to try it with cold water. It doesn't really melt well in cold water because it kind of needs heat to break it down, but there's a way to add heat to something cold, and that's friction. So he stuck it in a bar shaker that you would use to make like cocktails and martinis, and it became like a thick foam. And then he added milk and some stuff to it, and pretty much now it's kind of a staple in Greece. They actually have frappe machines that look a lot like a milkshake machine that we have here. You can use a wine aerator to do it. I'm actually going to do mine with a blender bottle. With a herring. Also, it'd be interesting to see, Sean, guys in the stream, tell me if you guys think this is cool. You could technically make a frappe out of the sundries that would come in a ration, right? Like condensed milk, water, and instant coffee. You can make canteen coffee.
Yeah, we should give it a shot. Drop a rock in a canteen. I'm sure it wouldn't be the first time.
Some desalination tablets.
Or something.
Yeah. So, give me 1 second. So basically, what do we got here? Is there a way? Can I put this camera like on this section right here?
Yeah, this is the mobile camera, so we can just pick this up, put this around. We can flip to make that the main. You can still talk there, but this will flip over. Sweet technology. Look at that. Look at that. There we go.
Okay.
You guys can see our exposed wiring, all that stuff.
It's very safe. That's why we have all the liquids right next to the outlet.
Oh man, I just saw Foreman's comment about shepherd's pie and lamb.
Oh man.
I never know what the rules are between lamb, venison, beef, and changing the naming between shepherd's pie, cowboy pie, cottage pie. All it matters is you've got a layer of meat and vegetables, and sometimes potatoes, sometimes not vegetables, sometimes gravy, sometimes not, and you top the whole thing off with mashed potatoes. I just love whatever it is that's got that combination of things, no matter what you call it. So sorry to cut you off, Nick.
No, it's okay. I love lamb. I'm actually making a lamb shoulder for Easter coming up, so kind of excited for the lamb. But real quick, guys, so when you're making one frappe for one person, you only use about 2 tablespoons worth of Nescafe, but since it's Sean and I here, I'm throwing 4 in there just to be lazy. And you're going to hit it with some water. So this is actually like ice cold water. You don't want it to be hot because then the coffee will just turn into regular coffee. And then hit that with the blender bottle. So this noise might annoy you, Sean.
That's all right. That's a good time to go into the hallway.
Okay.
And then I'll start talking about what I've got coming up right here. So I'm over here looking through sundries to figure some good things to scan. So right now I'm thinking I'm going to scan some hexamine tablets, maybe scan one of these older versions of the hexamine tablet. There we go. We've got a collection of Army toilet papers over the years. We've got other examples in here, but I think one thing I'm definitely going to jump in on is we've got a D ration, field ration D, the bar. When I was looking for this the other day, this is somebody was trying to find contents on one of the sister items to this, but Not this specifically.
Just for the record on the stream, you're also supposed to throw sugar in with the instant coffee grounds, and I forgot, so that's what I was just doing. I'll be right back. I have to shake.
Got different versions of the water purification tablets from over the years. I'm going to scan up. So I think we've got quite a few options over here. And I'll be able to get some of this stuff back together where it needs to go. So I'm thinking we start with that D ration. Nice and simple. Get
I'm actually
the camera back on Coffee Town.
I'm gonna do this with the lid on because I know that blender bowl is gonna pop right out and just throw foamy coffee all over me. So.
And we'll get this on in here.
Slightly thick. Got it. Together.
Let's see, I was just looking for a small box to pop the camera on there. And then we'll get this scanning stream scanning. There we go. All right. So, just gotta go back to the normal view.
Science.
There we are. Yeah, G Schultz, I'm with you. I don't need a gourmet shepherd's pie. Just need the right ingredients in terms of, meat, potato. That's really the minimum. Meat and potato. I'll call it a good meal. Oh my God, this phone is very hot today. Let's see. Hopefully that doesn't hurt things. All right. Here goes. Really? Oh wow. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, that is fantastic. Well, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for the coffee, Yossi. Thanks for the skill set, Nick.
No skill set. Googled it.
Look at this.
Yeah. So, a little trick you can do with Nescafe if you're ever looking for a nice coffee. This is the way to go.
There we go. We got some scanning starting. So now this is what's new. So now I can do blonk or blonk, and you can get a feel for.
Thanks, Jesse.
Let's see. You get a better feel for what we're taking a look at. There we go. Yeah, I gotta remember to shoot things like kind of off center so that the little bottom box doesn't get in the way.
Oh, one more thing. Just anybody who's listening, if you decide to make a frappe, it's like the gift that gives on giving because the foam is still very much instant coffee, so you just hit it with more water.
I'll admit I don't know what. What? The foam? Wouldn't you drink the foam?
No, actually, once you get to the bottom, the foam kind of dissolves into the milk, but a lot of this emulsified instant coffee is still like viable. So you hit it with a little more water, and you kind of got like a second coffee in there.
This mount did get a little bent last week. It's working all right.
Yeah, we abused it just a tad.
Keeps getting just a little too far.
poutine.
Yeah. G-Shell's talking about poutine. I love poutine. It's
just Canadian cheese fries.
Fresh cut fries with melted cheese curds on top. It's not just cheese fries. Yeah, I'll take a little more. Thank you.
What are your thoughts on your first frappe?
This is fantastic.
Also, in the summertime, it's a lot better than having a hot cup of coffee outside.
Yeah, as an iced coffee fan, I like this. Dang.
We have something similar to poutine here in the States called mega fries. Basically, not hand-cut fries. They're frozen, deep-fried, covered in Cheese Whiz, mozzarella, and melted cheddar with bacon. It's incredibly healthy.
He says, straight-facedly.
Disco fries.
Right. It's working. It's working. Oh yeah. You definitely can't skip the gravy. I mean, yeah. Sorry, we only got to talking about the cheese part of it. In Denny's, it's just smothered and covered, but
there's a place
it's not the same. Nothing's quite Canadian poutine.
There's a place on South Street around here that does. I think it's literally called like Poutine for You or something like that.
I know that the poutine ration.
There's a poutine ration?
Is all right. Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Canadian, of course.
It's pronounced Canadien.
Sure. All right, we got another layer scan here.
I'll put the milk back in the fridge.
Now I'll do the top down. Just keeps wanting to let go, but it is a bigger pad this time. So I think that's part of it. Cora's a fan of the poutine IMP. Nice. So Corey, I watched a little micro documentary on a short-lived theme park over there called Dickens Land, or Charles Dickens Land, where they tried to capture Dickensian England in a like 1 acre theme park with no rides. Sounds fantastic.
Was it dark and full of starving people?
Yeah, it was. But then they decided to cheer it up a bit and kind of wrecked it. So people walked around singing and, but they were still singing about, like, come visit the debtor's prison.
Oh.
And that kind of,
Curious Pete, I can promise you really do not need to get to South Street ever. Ever.
It's a little less than it used to be now, but
yeah, it's just full of like bars and stuff. There's no weird shops anymore. They used to have a really cool Adidas store there. But yeah, now it's just if you have a 3-wheeled motorcycle full of glowy stuff on it, ride it through South Street, I guess. Pretty much all I know South Street to be useful for. That Army Field Ration D. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
Well, another pass on this one.
Sorry. Squirrel gravy?
Welcome, Michelle. I Now I can't quite reach it.
This is all my fault. I'm really sorry.
I think we're good. I just needed to move everything a little closer. Hope everybody's, enthralled with the 10th pass of the D ration.
Pete, I'm sorry I let you down, man. Jim Steaks is on South Street. It's not the best. And the TLA is not the TLA anymore. It's the Fillmore, which is even worse. Yep. TLA got bought by Fillmore.
So what happened to the Fillmore?
It's called the Fillmore at the TLA, but they don't do like rock concerts anymore. It's basically like all SoundCloud rappers and stuff like that. Now I used to go there for the punk rock concerts when I was a kid.
As of when? There was a rock band there like 6 months ago.
Really? No. We were in a pandemic.
Maybe a few months before the pandemic.
Nobody good anymore. It's all like people I've never heard of.
Okay, good. That's how rock works.
Nah, but it's not good. Okay, it's just not good anymore.
So when I was in college and went there, I wasn't going there to see the Who. I was going there to see bands nobody 10 years from me or older than me had ever heard of. Isn't that the point? Isn't that always been the TLA? Never mind.
Kind of sort of. My first concert was at the TLA, and it was Bowling for Soup.
See, I have no idea what that is.
They made the Chuck E. Cheese theme song. Where a kid can be a kid. Yeah.
All right, we're moving on from this one.
Oh, I got a lot of problems on
squirrel and spaghetti sauce. I'm trying to think if I've ever eaten a squirrel. I don't think so. I'd like to. I would eat a squirrel. All right, let's see where we're at up here.
Ration D. Is that like the chocolate bar ration?
Yep.
Oh. Is this the one you said is really bitter?
Yeah, well, not really. I mean, it's just a bitter dark chocolate bar.
Mm.
So that if you were generally discouraging the men from eating it early.
Ah.
It was meant to be a emergency.
Last resort. Got it.
Not a happy candy bar. I'm interested to find out, different variations on it in terms of size and chocolate type, because there isn't just one D ration. Now that I've come to find, there does seem to be some variation to it over the years. Let's see. We'll do some hexamine.
Small first aid dressing. Was that just a bandage, or is that like the packet with Tourette's in it and stuff like that?
That's probably just the bandage. Oh, that's just the bandage. There's no.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm picturing like Saving Private Ryan, tiny little morphine Tourette's.
Nope. I mean, they existed. They existed for sure. All right, let's see. So I'll grab one of these. Grab one of these. Is that my best set of these tablet rations? Seems like it.
Those just like big old vitamin tablets?
No, these are fuel.
Oh,
cooking.
Gotcha. Dry fuel.
Yep. All right. So coming back, we're going to look at two of those. Going to look at some types of heating stuff. All right. And, some ration heating, fuel tablets. I guess they're all tablets. So this kind, you would snap off. They're perforated at the, let's see, you can't really see what I'm talking about there. There we go. Sorry about that. So these are perforated and would snap on those lines. Oh, I heard it drag on the back for a second. I was like, what the heck is that? What the heck is that? No.
Non-toxic. Incredible.
Yeah, sure. Exactly. Cottage pie and shepherd's pie. I'm not 100% sure there needs to be a distinction. Oh, guys, would you look at that? A little baby scan is born.
And that's where 3D scans come from.
Why is it processing again?
Computing, buffering.
Oh, okay. I did something I wasn't quite sure. I was able to like clean it up a little bit by long pressing on
Huh.
it. Interesting.
Will you look at that?
I think that came out really nice. All right.
Wait, we didn't scan the bottom of it, or there's nothing on the bottom?
So on the bottom, so I still haven't gotten to the point where I can really combine these things again sideways. The bottom of this is an empty label.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I was trying with the Pall Malls, and I'm still going to try and figure it out, but I need more practice with that. Don't need to make everybody sit through it while I figure it out live. All right, so I'm going to save that. Oh no, it crashed. So that's new. Let's see. Did we lose it? It was the saving step. Hey, look. Not lost.
Nope.
All right. Poor phone's just getting very hot. But, you know, it's just a phone. We'll get better equipment as time goes on, but for now, this is what we got. All right, doing a new scan. Okay. Hey, Kaylin. Hey, this was your idea. You missed the stream 2 weeks ago, but you were saying like, why don't I just try some kind of wait, let's see. I need to get most of the light out of there so you can actually see. So I got a microphone boom arm on this. And it works. I can put the camera in all the positions that I need to. So when we need to move this forward, we're just going to move it up there and it'll lock into position. It's great. So thanks for that idea.
It's custom. All this talk of shepherd's pie really makes
Too much meat. I'm not quite following. So too much. Is that like a coupon code you can use to buy more meat somewhere?
Wait, are there food groups outside of meat?
I mean, bacon is the baconest of all the foods. I know that. On my scale of 0 to bacon, bacon is the baconest.
Meat, candy.
We got, yeah, I don't know. For every animal you don't eat, I'm going to eat 3. That's all I'm going to say. And it's funny enough, I was a vegetarian for 7 years at one point, so.
Pretty sure vegetables are.
Oh man, so many rations I missed out on. So many rations I missed out on. Yeah, I'm with Pete on the New Orleans. He's saying he has to avoid it or it'll balloon up. I understand. I understand that completely. Last time I was there, it was mainly obsessed with the food I could get the whole time.
Where'd it go?
There we go.
Never been to NOLA.
New Orleans. It's a really nice place. I mean, really like good people, good, authentic, honest. Like, it's not like polished and perfect and whatever. It's a gritty town, and it's very real and very fun. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of history. There's a lot of good food. I would spend some time there if it wasn't like the most humid place in the world. So next time I go, it's going to be in the dead of winter. And there's certainly nothing wrong with being vegetarian, by the way. I just I feel like I served my time there. I've got meat to eat. Oh, Jesse, you're from New Orleans or in New Orleans? I don't think I even realized. New Orleans is just, yeah. Big performances going vegan is a huge mistake.
Well done,
that's
Fordman.
good. That's good.
If I'd made that joke, Sean would have got mad at me.
Yeah, no, yeah. New Orleans is very authentic. I really like the place. And there was, I'll skip the rat stories, but they added to it for me to see, the rats that I saw while I was there. But coming early spring, if it's not insanely humid, I'll have to give it a shot at some point. Okay, we got through another layer on this. Let's get the next. Oh wait, no, I don't think we did. We still have a chunk. Oh well, we'll come back to that middle layer.
I'm clean this area while you're doing that.
Malaria is wearing a shirt in the area. It rolls down the sleeves. That's still my favorite mistranslation. I missed Yossi saying his parents are from South America. Yeah, no such thing as too much meat. That's a good culture to get to lean into. Oh man, so much good food out there in the world. Oh, come on, just scan. There we go. So I got a bigger plate this time. This thing is bigger. I may need to actually keep an 8-inch plate as well for the small stuff. Because it's harder to keep the camera away from it and yet be able to still get on top of it like I'm doing right now. There we go. So that's the part you guys don't, screwing it up, of course. There we go. That's the part you guys don't get to see as much, is when it's like nearly above the thing, which is when it gets that kind of tinted look to it. I still don't know why, because getting a very full picture of the thing. I do need even further to keep the whole platform in view. I guess that's the main thing. You need to keep most of it in view. I do need to get a better device for scanning. I need to get, like I said, some kind of rig for the larger scans. But for right now, everything's working out all right. We got a lot between here and when we could really make use of something better anyway. So I just need to get, the website continue to get dialed in and all that, which we'll talk about in a minute, because I did make a ton of progress on it. All right, so that's gonna build up. And actually, while we're doing that, hey, who wants to see the new website?
Oh boy.
So here we go. This is the new museum website. So I've been working on this for a while, but I finally launched over the last week the whole new look and feel for our site. So I'm just going to keep adding to everything piece by piece, but the part I'm really happy about is coming up. Oh, would you look at that? So these aren't just pictures. These aren't just little animations. These are 3D. I'm doing this with my finger, by the way, on a touch screen, but you can use a mouse. I decided not to put the controls over top of it just so it looks better, but these are all for the purposes of getting a better look at everything. What do you guys think?
Some good things coming through in the stream.
once we get the scans of the backs as well, I think they'll look a little better. But overall, I think they're looking nice. Now I've been messing with the resolution and everything, so they can look nicer, but they take a lot of resources to load on the website for people with slower computers and stuff, or cell phones or whatever. So I'm trying to just find the balance right now. It's been a lot of work. I tried a whole bunch of different software. Right now, what I have to do is I have to take these models out of the phone, just pick the right format. There's like 9 formats, but I'm using GLB format. And I send the GLB file to my computer, and then I take that and I do a process called deduping to pull out all the duplicated parts of the model that don't need to be there. Then a process called pruning that takes out all the little extra chunks of details that aren't used, that are in the model, like stuff about a skeleton, or animation starting state, when there's none of that.
Hello, Wayne Brady.
Oh my God, Wayne Brady's here.
Is Wayne Brady going to have to join the museum?
Okay. Anyway, welcome, Wayne Brady. Good to have you here. So then we take those pruned and deduped models, and then I run them through a little compression program, and I played with all the compression levels, and I think they look pretty good. But this is just a start, This is to show people what the tech is capable of in general. But when we get better equipment with better resolution camera and all that stuff, we'll make really nice scans that are very detailed. Like, this is a start, and I hope people enjoy it. And I hope when we get our virtual museum with these things in there, that people come and pick them up and experience them in a better sense. But for right now, I'm just really happy that I got them on the website and that the site itself is looking okay. So I'm working on it. It's been a long journey, one step at a time, though.
Sean, I have a question. How hard would it be would it work to scan something like this right now, or it has to be like
the spoon would scan?
Like, would it catch the curves, or would it essentially just make it like a giant box?
No, it should. We'd have to see.
That's a curious thing, because we haven't really done anything.
We tried that oven with all the knobs and stuff, but because it was metal, it was reflecting this checkerboard pattern, and then parts of it didn't scan right. So we're going to try again when we can scan bigger things. But yeah, it's a good point. We need to scan things that aren't squares.
Just to see how it comes out and recognize it, because I'm wondering, for these objects, does it essentially create like a box, like an invisible grid, and then fill it in?
It should make a full. All right, let me flatten this. Okay, and what I'm going to try with this is put this on its side, because I found that when you just flip the whole thing upside down, the mesh that I'm trying to do that makes one model and another model become one model doesn't work as well with something that was laid flat.
Oh, I see. So you'd rather have it do its thing.
So I'm going to save this model. Hopefully not crash. Perfect. Didn't crash. Now I'm going to make another model from this by doing that. Just put it on its side. And we'll see how this goes. All right, let's see. So, try the spoon, Kaylin says. As soon as I make another model of this, I think we can try something like that. Okay, here we go. We got that set up. All right. I can pop back over to the multi-view. Oh, look at that rotating box. I do have somewhere. So Yossi's asking if I had a HD camera hooked up, could I scan to the computer? So with where we're at right now, we're kind of in the DIY software range on this. There are systems that can do scans directly to from the computer with better cameras and everything. But I think we're going to want to skip ahead to laser-assisted scanning, which is in about the $1,000 range. And then there's special 3D cameras and lasers and all that. Because if we're gonna jump from one tech to another, I think we're gonna want to jump all the way. So that's what I'm looking at as the next round. But in the short term, I don't think, like, if we had like the camera you're thinking of sending our way for the stream, I'm sure there is a way to use it, but I'm not certain we could do it without buying some hefty software to go with it, I guess is what I'm saying. There we go. So we'll see, though. I mean, this is everything that, if you find anything, if anybody's digging around and looking at software and stuff and find something that looks like it'll work out for us, just by all means, send it my way. Send me a link, send me an email, and I'll take a look. You know, it's pretty much just been what I can find, or what Nick finds, or what one of you guys finds and sends our way to take a look at, to say maybe this will work for what you're doing. So I'm always open to trying new tech. Let's see. Old heat tabs? Yeah, we're scanning heat tabs. Exactly, Fordman. I'm just trying to find some, I was just trying to find some small enough stuff today to make some good scans with. All right, so now we got that layer. We can go up. Get another layer up there. Bye, babe. Puppy Breath, welcome to the stream. So, yeah, right now we're just scanning. We're going to continue to scan stuff that's small enough to fit into our, like, little space. I think I can put some stuff that's a little bigger, like maybe MCI box size, so we're going to try that in a little bit. I mean, as long as there's time. Like right now, it's only 6 o'clock. Now that's feeling right. I don't feel like we killed a ton of time or anything yet, so we got lots of time left tonight to scan. I'll be up for staying a little later than the normal end time if we got things running smooth too. So there we go. So just every time I do that, it's like ready to go. Like just another little adjustment, and we've got scans just moving along while I get to continue to talk to you guys. So next thing, got another package. Let's take a look. So this one is kind of an insane packing job. Let's see, oh, okay. It's just my watch telling me to read. What is all this crap? All right. It tells me to read every day at 6. I need to change that to more like 7:30 now. It was in the pandemic, early phases, or even up until not too long ago. I was mostly working from home, so I would my work day ends at 6, so I was immediately getting to change gears and read. Hi, Nick. And but now I'm back in the office, so driving home, and I tend to stay late a little bit anyway, so I gotta change that. Okay, so this whole thing has this crazy pack job there. I just cut a sphere, I cut all the way around that edge. I can get rid of that. Oh man. So this is something Nick found. And apologies if anybody else had messaged me about this too. I credit you as well.
Yep.
Yeah, you can pull on the box. So, this may or may not have any military connotation specifically. The coloring seemed to be an indication, but now that I'm seeing it, I'm not certain, but it doesn't matter. It's a really interesting piece of food preservation technology. Let's see. So this is a cold pack produce, or cold, not produce, perishable food transportation system. So this was for like mailing or otherwise transporting something that needed refrigeration. So it's got a metal base and it's got a heavy insulation around it. And then inside it's a metal tank. So you can put your ice and whatever it was that you had to pack in there. So cold pack insulated transportation.
Is it just me or does it smell funny?
Oh, it's got that barn smell.
Yeah.
Which is
that just makes it more authentic.
A fun smell, as long as it's not
a little right.
hantavirus. So it's got a really neat clasp and closure system. So it reminded me of some duffel bag models. So you've got, all right, let's see. We're going to want, yeah. So this goes down, this comes over. Actually, nope, this will be last. So down, over, that'll get strapped through. I'm just not going to do that for the moment. Then down, over, strap, and you got a little handle to clip it on or chain it to something or whatever you have to do. But let's see, you get a, it doesn't, not the best lighting there. We'll bring the mobile rig over.
Gordon just asked, didn't the Germans have a ration in World War II that had to be kept refrigerated?
I believe they had something similar to our. So we have like the A and B rations, with the A being the most perishable and the B being like canned goods, non-perishable dry goods that are then used to do like ingredient-based cooking. Like this is one of the only things I have from like a World War II era B ration, actually. Pop this up. Just so happen to have it out on the table already. So it's a box of cloves. But I would assume that the Germans had a similar setup where, you know, they've got a primary ration that contains frozen and perishable stuff. So like, you know, our A ration would have all kinds of things that would be assumed to be in frozen state or fresh state, in addition to things that are canned or powdered or whatever it happened to be.
Also shown up.
But yeah, cold pack insulated shipping and delivery container from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. This one has the number 20 on it. I'm not sure exactly what that signifies. It's the only spot with writing on it. And it's cold pack with a K on both sides. But it's the CanPro Corporation. That's why I snagged this. CanPro made other cans for rations.
I was just trying to find one of those clear plastic wedges that we bought, but I think the bride guy snagged them all because I saw he was using this little piece of paper under there.
Yeah, there's a lot of give here, and every time I get it stable, it would then rock forward. There we go. Yeah. So, got a seemingly okay sideways. Let's see. Oh, I'm leaving everybody over there with the cold pack. So let's see. Actually, I'm not quite sure that's usable. Is it that dark?
I think it's the package that's that dark.
I'm just going to try and lighten it. Ooh, opposite effect. Ooh.
Where's the undo button?
I don't think there is one.
What if you double tap
It's long press to re something or other. No. All right. We can come back to this idea. I'm going to switch to one of these nice and shiny hexamine fabric containers. All right.
Are we keeping this to put the cold pack back in?
Now we can ditch that. This is a nice sits in the office kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just again to give you guys some comparison. This is big. All right. Weighs a little bit.
Are we keeping this box?
Now we can ditch. Smells like a barn. Okay, so Pete's saying, or wait, Boardman's saying, oh, you're telling Pete something. All right, let's see. So we got this next scan going slow but steady. Let's get the, yep, let's get that setup going so you guys can see straight on. In the meantime, I'm going to have a few more of these because block out the light or else can't tell them. There we go. No. Trying to do this backwards over my shoulder. There we go. Really good. Really do taste like restaurant onion rings. Oh man, Corey, what's your holy grail? Corey says he found his holy grail today. Oh, did you get that pack of Dunkins? Oh, Fordman's talking about the canteen cup that the canteen sits in, that both go inside the canteen pouch that makes like kind of a cooked set. I think I have an older one and a more recent one that I had with the Boy Scouts that was like Vietnam surplus. All right, just having a little trouble finding the right angle right now with this. The slightly bigger box is presenting a bit of a hurdle. Anybody ever use the, I think it was Croatian? There was a kit, or no, Yugoslavian. There was a Yugoslavian kit that was everywhere for a while. I always wanted to get one. Now I haven't spotted one in a while. It's like a kind of a more rectangular green plastic. I know exactly what you mean, Wayne Brady. I'll be right back. I'll grab one. So there's a couple varieties of this. Wayne's talking about a stove that uses the tablets that come out of one of these. So you get these little, they smell like awful fish usually. No smell to this one. But you get these little pucks that you can set on fire pretty easily. You drop them right in there, and you'd open it up, and then you would fire it up and get your get your can and pop it right on top. Got a little piece of onion ring in there. So there's two versions of this. There's the civilian one that was very heavily advertised to buy one and address it to somebody overseas. So they were stamped with the company, the company name only, whereas this variety was the officially procured. Well, let's see. Might be able to get a better look over here. Officially procured by the USQMC for the USMC. So let's see if you guys can see. I'll try to steady up. So what I was trying to show you, it says NOM 38075-USMC JWS-M3-1943. So this is a JW Speaker Company Model 3 1943 heater. So one of the cooler JW Speaker Company things out there. Not super findable. This one is pretty old, pretty beat. So I'm pretty certain it's original, but as Pete puts out there are reproductions. I've had this for a good long while, so I think a lot of the things that are in the collection that are in that who's to say era are probably, at least in my case, I'm going to be lucky to be able to say that they're original because nobody was reproducing them yet, 12 years ago. Certain things were, anything that would have made sense to be in a reenactment camp or whatever has been reproduced for decades and decades. So it's, excuse me, it's never, something that you can fully rule out, in terms of anything like general field gear. It's going to be made for reenactor use. Some of that stuff is getting extremely good. The availability of pretty high-tech manufacturing and reproduction methods that we wouldn't have necessarily seen people using in the 70s or 80s. Just everywhere nowadays. You can have stuff manufactured. You can order up. You can find a company to make you custom boxes, to make you custom labels, to make you custom cans that are going to do a great job as long as you give them clean art assets to start out with. Curious Pete says he knows the name JW Speaker. Yep. They're known for their can openers for sure. We've got a great member of our community that goes by that name as well. Yeah, I think I have a couple right over here, potentially. Nope, these are all Macmillan. The unlabeled. None in there. I had another bag that had some. Not right here at the moment, but let's see. Yeah, those, these little folding stoves. I mean, really, honestly, how do you get more efficient than that as a camping stove? Like, how do you reduce beyond that? I've seen like piece of flat metal, that's razor sharp. But we were just talking about this little U.S. Marine Corps hexamine here.
Or yeah. Okay, that's pretty cool though.
So you.
It's like a mini Bunsen burner.
And then you put the can on top. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, why don't I scan it like this? There we go. That's going to be nice. Let me find a can that's not as grody inside. There we go. That's a nice one. Just missed over another layer. It's going to have to come around one more time. All right. I was thinking about adding a soundtrack to the stream. What do you guys think? Just some little background music, some elevator music, so that it's not so, dead air whenever we stop talking. Oh, I wanted to also talk about, real quick, Smokey was looking at some really good reproduction MCIs last night. I wanted to bring those up real quick on the screen here, since he was trying to show us on his phone, and I know that can be a bit of a harder thing to do. So I figured I'll just jump on here, because he brought it up with me after the stream, and I was thinking, we really do need to make friends with all the folks in the reproduction community as well, so that we know, for one, when we're potentially buying something of theirs that's being marked as original, and for two, as the museum, we're going to want things that, for instance, we just can't find, or that we find in horrible condition. We're going to want to be able to display them. And go to any museum and walk around and take a look at the item labels. I bet you'll be surprised how many say reproduction on them. It's very common. Even if you have the real item in your collection, it's going to be very common to put a reproduction out on the floor if it's done well enough, because the point is to show people the specifics of that item in a lot of cases. Now, if you're talking like a one-of-a-kind thing, putting a reproduction out isn't as impressive. If you're putting out a reproduction of a particular historic figure's mug versus their mug, people would be coming there to see their mug, if whatever it happens to be. Howdy, Carla. Welcome to the stream. Carla Zimmerman. That name's familiar. Where I grew up, there were a couple Zimmermans. Been a long time since I heard that name, actually. But let's see. Corey's saying, I think those MCIs are made by Chowline. Oh, yeah. Somebody was saying that it seems like his style. I'm not familiar. I got to get caught back up on MRE info. I really do. I used to spend hours and hours and hours on there. But I also just joined the U.S. Militaria Forum. Finally, I've been referencing them for years and years, and I want to join in more of those conversations myself. So it's it's been a long time coming, but so I'm on there, and I'll try and start getting active on the MRE info again, because there's just so many great conversations going on around what we love, So this particular set of reproductions, they're really faithful. And I was looking at these a little while back, wondering if this guy was taking original cans and using the pop-off trick, and then just putting new contents in them. that wouldn't, they wouldn't be anywhere near as clean looking. And then I noticed the stippling and all that. So he's making these. I think he's doing maybe laser transfer labels. And I think it's going to be pretty similar to the cans that I have next door, the reproduction World War II, like mountain ration cans, where you can tell it's like a rattle can job for the actual coating, but they're really, really nice. Oh wait, hey, that's you? Oh, well, there we go. Well, I'm here like, analyzing your work, and I'm just saying it's really good. Like even when I'm like well, obviously this isn't the best picture. This is just the zoom in on eBay. But when he brought these up, I mean, just you're doing really faithful work, man. This is great. I gotta say, certainly want to talk to you and a lot of other folks that are doing this kind of thing and get some good examples for displays. I'm not. We'll pay for them. We'll pay for them. You got to get paid for doing good work. I'm not trying to say like, oh, all right, now that you're here, but that's great that's you that stopped by to check this out with us, or I mean to check out the stream with us, because I'm really impressed by the work here. I was wondering, like, do you buy the cans themselves, or like do you get empty kind of more generic stuff, or are you buying in bulk and cleaning something out, or because like the little cans for the jellies and stuff. I was trying to think of one of the companies we work with in our day to day, but they have they sell a lot of those little canisters, but they don't look quite like what we used to have for the actual jams and jellies and stuff. And what you found is very close. And overall, yeah, this is great stuff. Oh, right there, Wayne B, 1701. There we go. Yeah, I'll definitely be putting an order or two in soon, just to have as some like very brand new looking. But for reenactment, like I don't know of anything better. These look great. Do you do any other eras, or are you focused mainly on MCIs? Hope he gets a chance to. It is rattle cans. Ah, well, there we go. But it does look really good. Like, let me grab one of somebody else's work. So, like, these are, let me see. Nope. Now, these are the same kind of thing, but they're a little more beat up from use. But the actual like color of the can, it can come out perfect. It's just you can sort of tell the surface has that little kind of roughness to it. But as a display item, I think they're perfect. Yeah, I'd be interested to see. Oh, so you wouldn't happen to have been the one who made those two Ration Type K cans I just had. They had actual, like, one of them's a can of soup, and it's just a regular can of soup in there. But the label style was so they both say the Ration Type K, and I was wondering whoever made those if they were modeling mountain rations or 10-in-1 contents, or neither. But yeah, super good or super cool work. Glad you came by the stream while we're talking about it. Let's see, I'm gonna flatten this. Well, that doesn't necessarily look too great.
Looks like it made it one giant polygon.
Oh. don't know what to think about it.
What if you laid it down? Also, Wayne Brady said those were not mine.
Okay, got it. But yeah, are you taking like? Do you have a source for like unsealed cans or cans with a popping top or something, or are you taking other cans and using like a smooth edge? Is that what it was? Smooth edge can opener?
Soft edge. Oh, no, wait. Oh, dang it. Let me look at the...
Yeah, smooth edge can opener.
Yeah, I was looking at the communications record.
But, let's see. So this is... I don't know. I think I'm gonna ditch this scan. Didn't come through that great. I think you're saying maybe we try it sideways. I'm gonna delete that one.
Wouldn't stop over. I wonder if it's having trouble capturing the depth of the cap because the cap goes in.
I'm wondering if part of it is that it's too small for what we're trying to.
Oh, that's yeah. Didn't even think of that.
But I don't know. I don't want to lose too much of it on its side, and then we'd never be able to put it perfect stand back up. Just wish. So light-wise, it's always going to seem dark in the center and not on the side. So I think we do need one more light.
I'll get a light.
Or we need to just move this further back again. I think moving it further back is going to help, I think, quite a bit. No, let's skip it for this one and see what we can get done. Without it.
People loving your poutine. Speaking of poutine, where's Smitty?
Where's what?
Smitty.
Oh.
Where's our boy Smitty?
He's got a life and things to do. Would you like some more onion ring?
I'm actually pretty good.
All right.
Although I'm also wondering if tomorrow morning when I come in, if I should make a frappe instead of hot coffee. I'll go and buy the big thing in Nescafe. They sell like gigantic ones.
I mean, that's what this is for.
Well, this is museum stuff.
Well, that's what this is for. It's for you and I to enjoy.
I know, but I want to keep this for the museum and one for work.
See, he's rejecting it.
Well, no, I look, I can never buy another Israeli labeled one again, preservation-wise.
We're going to do our best to consume all of it. That's doing it justice.
Do they sell like tabletop scanners, like 3D scanners?
I have no idea. Do some research.
Yeah.
Let me know. I mean, like, we just built one.
I mean, like, is there some sort of... It'd be interesting if there was, like, a box that had, like, an arm in it that moves back and forth. If not, patenting it now.
Hopefully this one goes a little better, but if not,
you might be right though, because the smaller grid provides better depth than the bigger grid.
Yeah.
It might be distorting that depth.
Yeah, it might be expecting there to be less finite detail at that size. Now this mat's a little warped, so it's not perfect, but
Printing paper mat.
it does look darker from this angle, so I don't know, we'll see.
We stuck a light like right here.
Yeah. Future.
Future.
And then once we get through that, we will pop this whole setup.
I'm really curious to see how well that burner light stands.
We'll see. I mean, like I said, this is by no means the permanent setup. This is moving us forward for now. Better to...
Pete says those 3-leg stoves are expensive.
Them's is some expensive stoves. There's a lot of stuff that I can honestly say I'm lucky enough to have stumbled upon long before rations took off. You know, been collecting for 15 years, and you know a lot of these things, or honestly more than 15 years now. And a lot of these things, when I first started looking, were $1, $2, $4, $5, you know, and now are dozens or hundreds of dollars.
What era is that from?
The stove is made in 1943.
Would that be something that, like, out in the field, somebody might stick their helmet on? Because you could take the inside out of the helmet, those steel helmets, and people use them to warm things up, you know?
Maybe.
Probably burn the paint off of it, though.
Yeah, they didn't worry too much about burning the paint off.
That's true.
But I think it was probably used more to give you a warm...
or like warm up water for shaving.
I was going to say, yeah, to give you a warm toiletry setup. And that looks
better.
It looks less haphazard and lopsided. So...
Just looks like a crayon right now.
So any Marines in chat?
Yeah, we got your rations going.
This isn't food. All right. We'll swap here. This isn't the food. Don't try and eat this.
Hey, yeah.
I think it came through better. We're gonna flatten the top. $3 MCIs at the surplus store, exactly.
MCIs are that cheap if you find them at surplus?
No, not anymore. No, like a post cigarettes era MCI complete that's like in good shape will probably run you $30. Like a cigarette era MCI in good shape will run you 50 to $70.
Look at that!
Oh, well, there we go. So, gotta keep that in mind. Let's see. Or, let me get away from the super bright light.
Yes, Tim, they are fire rations. Dry fuel tablets.
Look at that. I think that turned out great. We're gonna call that one up.
That I would say that's more than great. Look how cylindrical it is compared to the last one.
It's smudged and interesting, but like.
Yeah, but the.
Oh no! I touched it. I didn't mean to long press. Wait a second. I don't know what happens when I do that. Oh.
It looks like it got the depth in the cap a little bit better.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it there before I break things. Okay, so that cleaned up nice. I'm happy with that. Now we can move on to the entire heating setup with a tablet in it and a can on top.
That stove totally looks like something you'd find in Fallout.
Do we think we should go with that setup or with the bigger grid? No, okay.
I think it needs the bigger grid.
I don't know. Let's see.
It's red.
No, Red is generally going to be distance, and as long as the item doesn't stick out of the shell, we should be all right.
I'm just curious to see how this picks up, you know, an object with...
Interesting shape.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
I got some fun.
We'll see. Oh, hey, Tim, by the way. Welcome. One thing, I don't know if these are still, common as heck, but if anybody wants to trade stuff for these, sorry about the weird light situation this week. I have a lot of these. Hey, Carlos, welcome.
Is this scannable or is this something we don't want to scan?
It's not something I want to scan. I mean, I'm sure we could. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's scannable in the truest sense, but yeah. So, just what I was saying was, I have a lot of those paper wrap hexamine setups. Bump this up to the next.
Oh, that was pretty
Bump
fast.
this up to the next level.
Take it to the max.
So yeah, it's just within the dome. So I think this will scan okay. We'll get a good high res on this one. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Yes, indeed, Zeno. Fuel tablets.
Yeah. So these things, the paper ones contain the same stuff, but it's pretty much. These little pucks.
I know we wouldn't.
These don't smell like they used to, or I mean, like a fresh one does. I wonder if these would still fire up. They look pretty much the same. It's compressed hexamine, so it really should.
Oh,
It's not like a liquid fuel that's going to effervesce or really leak over time. It's, the compound itself is stabilized.
This is scanning really, really well right now.
I'm happy with it.
I'm so excited to see
It is. It does look like it's got holes through it. If you're looking down.
Yeah. This is so cool.
All right. Next layer.
This is science. Disclaimer: we are not scientists, and/or admit we know what we're doing.
We're doing our best. Don't fault us for trying. If you know a better way, please tell us, and we will do our best to adapt. Like whoever mentioned using wax on metal, during our restoration stream while we were kicking around whatever, like WD-40 or whatever we were saying, and it's like, no, wax is what people use. Wax is what you use in a museum if you've got metal that you don't want to polish back to perfect shiny, condition, but that you don't want to keep rusting. So for iron and steel and stuff that we're going to restore. Now we have an approach. It's going to be, don't eat those. Don't eat the white mints. The hexamine mints. But yeah, it's going to be, a joint effort, I guess is what I'm getting at. We're trying to figure this out ourselves, but we need help. Hey, look, so there will be a splatter guard next time. I've got heavy grade 2 mil plastic that we'll be building a tent with. We will have protective gear. We'll have can respirators. We'll have goggles. We're going to be ready to do some real restoration work.
One of those incubation chambers that you slide your hand into the gloves and work inside the chamber.
A laminar flow chamber. I used to own one.
Where'd it go?
For hard drive restoration. Sorry, you just took me back there. Laminar flow chamber days.
That might be something that'd be super helpful if we have to, I don't want to say deal with corrosives, but maybe some things that aren't too great for breathing in or being exposed to.
Right. Well,
down the road.
We've got the can respirators now that are going to be coming. So we'll have a full face mask with little, things on the side.
You'll have to shave.
PPE, exactly. You know, and now it's a year into everything. People can't yell at us for hoarding the PPE for museum purposes.
Sean,
Ooh, a little bit more.
oh my.
Oh
my. Roadhouse. Sean, it did it. It looks like a garden gnome.
it does indeed look like a garden gnome. Let's see what it thinks. It's not perfect.
Ooh, I wonder something for the future while this is rendering.
Looks like a weird ice cream cone.
In El Futuro, is it possible that you could stick a grid, like a cutout of a grid, inside the can to provide depth when scanning the inside of the can?
I don't think we want to figure that out.
Well, no, this is a future experiment thing. Does it sound crazy?
Doesn't sound crazy.
Okay.
It sounds like it would be very interesting to try to line up everything.
Oh, that does make sense. Okay. Never mind. Ignore me, stream.
Oh, and then from different angles it wouldn't. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, wait. Yeah, we got these on at the moment.
It's definitely taking a little while longer, though, just because it's picking up all these weird dimensions.
Like Buckaroo Banzai. Picking up all kinds of dimensions.
Tim has a Canadian gas mask. Does it smell like pine trees and or syrup?
That's some loud crunching.
Oh, that's why he backed away. No.
All right, let's see. Where'd you end up? Almost. Flatten it. Let it continue processing.
It looks like some of the reflection off the stove itself might have distorted the image a little bit.
May have. Which, you know, for a first try, I'm still going to keep it. I have a couple different gas masks. I've got civilian World War II era stuff, and then military, Desert Storm and beyond, but nothing really military from the 70s. And the ones that are newer aren't museum items.
Gotcha. British gas mask. Always
Right,
wanted one of those. Always wanted one of those Soviet era gas masks that you like see on the ground at Chernobyl, like those types of rubber masks. That kind
Yeah. I'm sure you could find one. Just don't get it from Chernobyl.
No.
I mean, honestly, that's pretty adorable for what it is.
It's not terrible for a first try.
And
Okay, 93%. Very funny, Tim. Tim said Soviets can be toxic.
all right, let's see. All right, there's two of them somehow. Cool. All right. I think that was mostly successful. We'll have to keep on working on these things. But, yeah, I don't know. Do we want to get a little puck going? Or do we want to do a little heap of pucks?
Wait, Tim, you mean like the gas masks could be made of like some sort of asbestos material or whatever? Something the Soviets didn't really care if it poisoned people?
I think he just means.
Because he said gas masks.
Oh. I was like, I thought he just meant Soviets in general. Could be a bit toxic.
Because, I mean, Soviet safety regulations were pretty strict. Not.
That's a Shelby.
Corey, that's funny. Check out Corey's comment on the episode.
3.6. That's what I rate that joke. Not great. Not terrible. Not great.
Soviet level mediocre.
Oh boy. Now I need to make, let me see, I'm going to try and make a scene out of this scene while we're live that I can use to put us back in the corner here. Duplicate.
Wait, they used asbestos in the filters, Joe Green?
God. Wrong place for
What?
that. Wrong place for that.
What are you talking about?
Of all places for asbestos?
Oh, yeah. Well,
Sorry for the dead air. I'm just tying some stuff together while we're going, and hopefully get a better view here.
Ford man, please do your best to inhale less asbestos from brake pads and clutches. We'd love to see you on the stream more often and in the future. Although I've changed quite a few brake pads, they do not smell great when you're changing them. Pretty gross. Yes, G. Schultz, you should definitely watch Chernobyl. Good show.
There we go. Now we have the second camera and the laptop camera. So we're good. Yeah, Chernobyl was really worth watching. It's only a couple episodes, only a couple hours total. Very worth watching. Very well researched.
Also,
only a couple little things that, a couple little details some people might get annoyed at, but for overall, it was extremely well done.
Also, the acting talent in Chernobyl was like top notch.
Oh yeah. Three out of 7.
For what?
No, I'm just.
Oh.
Corey just found a 1989 British Arctic ration. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that's a particular era right there. That's a Falklands War ration, maybe.
Sean, maybe you know, or maybe someone in the stream knows, are like World War II era rebreathers findable? A rebreather? Oh,
like your Batman?
No. So
diving equipment?
Yeah. So instead of
Do I look like I know the
No,
first thing
I
about
asked
anything
if
that isn't
somebody in the
rations?
stream knows as well.
Nah.
But I think rebreathers are cool. It's really cool technology, and it's still in use today. You never actually need an oxygen tank ever again. Counts as an air ration.
Somebody say that? Is that you?
Me, I said that. It's an oxygen ration.
Oh man, Chernobyl, the exclusion zone in general, Pripyat, and all that. I would very much like to go to someday as a vacation, just to camp and explore.
Actually,
While I still can.
so there's a documentary on either the Netflix or the Amazon Prime about the new sarcophagus that they built over Chernobyl, and that was actually that project was handled by a company right across the bridge in Camden called Holtec. It is now the single largest moving land structure. Pretty dope. It's really cool. Because of it, there are actually people that live in the outer edges of the exclusion zone now. There's cafes and stuff that are in business again on the outer edge of the exclusion zone. There's actually another documentary called The Cafes of Chernobyl. It's sort of middle-aged people started moving back. At first, the Russian government let older people move back, past, if you were over the age of 75, you could move back there, but kind of a weird scenario because there's actually,
I honestly wasn't aware of any new move into the zone. I mean, there's been people there that never left, ever.
Yeah,
and then people that moved back not too long after, and then there's been the cafes and stuff. I'm aware of the ones that opened up for the workers that were building the sarcophagus, because there were thousands of those. All their time was limited, their exposure was limited, all that stuff, because they're in there for a long time, and they were working with, cleaning up all the damaged structures. So they took the collapsed reactor number 4 or whatever it was, and all the surrounding just insanely hot material that could get removed out, and then that's the purpose of the sarcophagus. So, well, I guess they're going to be working on that for a long time. Now that there is a safe shell over the whole structure, they can break more and more down inside without the dust going up or whatever else going up and exposing anything else.
Well, the beauty of it is that no human needs to enter that shell ever. Number one, it's highly radioactive anyway, but also that shell is good for 100 years, and it's got 3 robotic cranes in it.
It's good for 100 years. Granted, the material inside will be breaking down for over 140,000 years, but good for 100 years.
Well, it's got robotic and remotely manipulatable cranes in it that can actually start dismantling the reactor, and they could get it into containment modules that are lead or zinc lined and start moving it out. Because the elephant's foot is a real thing. It's it's a gigantic mountain of corium.
Gotta make up a new element when your core melts down.
Oh, wow, I didn't even think of that, but yeah, that's a real thing. I didn't realize that the name just pretty much came from, what do we call it? It's there's all these different radioactive materials. What do we call this cocktail of death? Corium.
Corium. Hey, Corey. Cocktail of death right there.
It's also the deadliest place on the planet. If you stand by it for more than 20 minutes, you got 5 hours to live after that. So that's cool.
Nobody's going back so far to Fukushima. I lost it. Almost nobody's gone back.
Well, no, so their exclusion zone actually has a problem. Since Japan is so small, they're detecting massive amount of radiation 50 kilometers outside of that exclusion zone. And Japanese citizens are constantly complaining to the government. There are huge protests in Japan still to this day because of Fukushima.
It's looking good. Yeah, Fukushima was not handled super great.
I mean, there was.
We look at the Chernobyl accident and how it was handled, and people ripped that apart. For one, it was the 80s. It was mid-Soviet Union. Soviet Union was still running strong. It wasn't post-collapse yet. So the Iron Curtain in terms of information was still very much up. And the actual contamination from it to the outside world, while it happened, was very contained. And the number of medical problems as a result could have been so much worse, it's hard to describe. The fractional, tiny chunk of folks, though tens of thousands of folks that were affected by it, could have been hundreds of millions of people. Now, Fukushima, just pumping water in and out from the ocean, pulling radioactive material just directly out. I mean, it was. Well, there were a lot of things that, the handling in the early days was pretty confusing and went to do some damage. The hydrogen, explosion in the fuel storage pools, all kinds of things that could have potentially been avoided, but overall, the direct exposure to the elements for handling some of the contamination, trying to let the sea dilute things, just wasn't, I don't think, a workable approach. But we don't need to go too far down.
Well, they're bringing up 3 Mile Island.
Oh God! Hey, Pennsylvania's own nuclear disaster.
So the funny thing about 3 Mile Island is, a couple days before 3 Mile Island actually happened was a movie with Jack Lemmon called The China Syndrome, and well. That movie kind of directly predicted.
They got that pretty right.
Yeah. So 3 Mile Island was it was kind of the whole reaction when who was it? Orson Welles that read the War of the Worlds on the radio, but people thought it was like a real newscast, and the reaction was like, "What? There's aliens here." Is that Orson Welles? Yeah,
that was Orson.
Yeah, people had a huge reaction to that, and then people went and saw
Mercury Theater on the air.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's real. People reacted thinking, "Oh my God, we saw China Syndrome. We know exactly what's going to happen now." But that was actually something that really changed the game here in the United States in terms of NRC regulations. It was a valve that went bad. That valve was not scheduled to be inspected for 7 years. After the event, so they were like,
and it made very apparent the need for backup systems and backups of backups. So nuclear systems tend to have triple backup.
Oh yeah,
at this point, whereas not quite. Most of our nuclear plants were built prior to that point. We stopped building them about 30 years ago, and I'm sure there's been exceptions to that. But the 15 to 20 year approval process for planning has pretty much killed nuclear, new nuclear in the U.S.
What are the reactors that Bill Gates is working on? Is it thorium? The liquid sodium submerged reactors.
So there's a bunch of types of reactors that could solve some of the known problems. Thorium reactors, pebble bed reactors.
I think thorium's the one that can shut itself down because thorium doesn't actually get hot enough.
Yeah, the thorium reactor, if it melts down, will. Wait, no, I don't remember. But great example of these kinds of reactors is Russia had been building them in the Bering Sea as far back as the 60s or early 70s. For powering lighthouses and remote weather stations. It's essentially like a salt reactor. So, it doesn't run hot enough to melt through its containment system, and when it breaks down, it stops reacting instead of uncontrollably reacting. So it was interesting tech. Granted, hundreds of them were left to the elements, and there's all kinds of contamination and problems as a result, but
that would be something interesting to find for the Ration Museum, Sean. Soviet iodine tablets.
A new plant in South Carolina. Interesting. Soviet iodine tablets. I'm sure we could find some of those.
I'm surprised new plants are actually being built here. Germany has actually promised to decommission all of their nuclear plants. The only thing is, it takes about 25 years to actually decommission an entire nuclear power plant. But, you know.
So, like in the U.S., we have, mainly water-cooled, steam-generating fission reactors with a little bit of plutonium kicked in for good measure. So overseas, it's a mix. France has the most, I think, per capita, they certainly were the most prolific for testing nukes per capita. Over 100. I don't know. I always get the numbers wrong, but France and the U.S. are the top two, I believe, in terms of like number of tests ever done. Russia's a way distant third. But Japan had a similar reactor style in Fukushima to what we run here, only on the edge of the ocean for some reason. So, for the water cooling, but in a tsunami zone, in an earthquake zone, in whatever, but...
Yeah, wind turbines down there in Missouri. Do we have wind turbines here? I feel like we do.
Oh, yeah, we have wind farms all over the country. We have wind farms in Pennsylvania. If you go up Route 80 by Wilkes-Barre, there's dozens of great big turbines. They're out in Western PA. They're all over the state. They're all over the country. But the wind turbines, I don't know. Solar's getting better, but not quite there. Efficiency for the initial cost. A lot of times, like those systems don't pay for themselves by the time they stop generating enough power. But we're getting there, I guess. New tech needs to get trialed. Yossi's saying pretty much everything we think of in terms of like what's wrong with nuclear energy stems from human error.
Yeah.
Really does. But when a human can make a mistake that poisons hundreds of square miles for
it could be a problem.
For tens of thousands of years,
Well, so that's also kind of the thing behind Fukushima. So Fukushima could have, not that it could have been entirely stopped, but it wouldn't have been as worse as it was. The company TEPCO they could have poured salt water into the reactor, but the problem is when you pour salt water into a reactor, you've lost a $3 billion reactor. There's no going back, and they didn't want to do that. It took them about a week before the Japanese government was like, "Are you nuts? Flood the reactor." At that point, it was kind of late. Right?
Pouring water. What I had a problem with was they're pumping water directly in from the ocean and directly back out to the ocean, not into the outer chamber, but into the fractured reactor. Mm-hmm.
Well, now they've built those gigantic disposal units. Fukushima is actually about 80% cleaned up now in terms of the site. But, due to that, nuclear power plants all over the world changed their infrastructure. Now, about a mile above every plant is like a gigantic, 50 million gallon, what they call a cooling pool, and it's just gravity fed. So in the event that mechanical stuff fails, you open a valve and it floods the reactor and prevents, something going critical. But,
There we go. Bit by bit, getting some scans done.
Fordman, cold.
Oh, it's after 7. Got it.
Oh, wow. We've been here a while.
Doesn't matter.
Fordman, something really cool with coal stuff here. Another sort of disaster. If you've ever been to Centralia, Pennsylvania.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Centralia is a mine fire. It's been going for 60 years.
Yeah.
Underground. The town had a population of about 5,000 people at its peak. It's now less than 10. But we've talked about this within the last 2 weeks, so
oh, really?
I'll put a pin in it there.
I didn't know that.
You might have been one you missed, but we talked about it.
It's what the Silent Hill movies are based on, isn't it?
Well, the area.
Yeah. Never been through it myself, but apparently you could still drive through it.
Yeah, you can take a highway through. You can take a state road through Centralia. There's an intersection of 54 and 60 or something. No, that wouldn't make sense there. I forget what two roads. Somebody here knows.
Yeah. 250 years. Wow. Could you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, they tried everything. They tried flooding it. They tried choking it. They tried, what they could, but in the end, that's still burning and everybody's gone. Like they had to buy the land and kick people out bit by bit.
Industry, good for the common man.
I'm glad you're having a good time here, Jesse.
Yeah.
And all. We got work we got to get done. I'm gonna be here doing it anyway. Nick's here working on his schooling and whatnot before the stream on Sunday. So I mean, it's just we'll pick up the work and we'll talk while we're doing it, and hopefully you guys enjoy.
Yeah.
While you're making some dinner or joining in the conversation yourselves. Graffiti highway. Wait, what? It was covered over. Says who? How? Where?
Graffiti highway?
Somebody got it from a drone finally. So yeah, it was. There's a whole big chunk of where the road split open from the mine.
Oh, I know. It's like a fissure in the road itself.
They closed off about a mile and a half stretch of the road, built a detour road around it, and people spray painted stuff on it. And over time, it became just pure spray paint all the way.
That's pretty cool.
It looked awful. It looked way bad. First time I ever walked that road after the split was within the first few weeks of its closure, and no spray paint. That was probably the coolest it looked. There wasn't trash in all the holes. The trees were all still like dead and smoking around there. Like it was.
I guess Centralia would look like.
Centralia was pretty rough for a while. Now it just looks like anywhere. You drive through it and it's just like a little foresty town. There aren't like columns of smoke coming out of the ground anymore.
It's like a real like fallout staging area.
Yeah. So they had these like pipes drilled into the ground in a lot of places to just release gas, which also meant that there was carbon monoxide buildup at ground level and sulfuric something or other gas buildup at ground level. It's an awful place to be, and that's why they were driving people out. But over time, nature kind of won its way back. So all the standing dead trees that had taken too much heat from the roots up slowly fell, or some of them are still standing dead, but the ground cooled down enough at the surface level. The fire moved deeper, whatever it happened to be, and plenty of new bushes, trees, grass, everything grew back up. And that started 30 years ago, so now it's all, it's alive there again. It's all very green.
Thanks for joining us, Corey. Have fun in school.
Glad you came by. I know now I think we got an even worse time difference with daylight savings.
Oh, that's a thing, yeah.
Apologies.
Ben Franklin and his good ideas.
I was going to say, look, it's got a slant to it, but it did. It really did have a slant to it. We'll see how this turns out.
I think it's great that even though we're scanning rations, we talk about everyday stuff and science and knowledge things. But speaking of which, anybody ever wants to learn about nuclear reactors, I wrote an article on one. Hey, it's like the most successful thing I've done in my life. Something like 800,000 people read it.
Nick writes the 10 things you didn't know about such and such clickbait articles. No, they're not clickbait because he has the info in them, I guess. Yeah. But
I every once in a while, before I started working here, I used to write like freelance articles for a website called Listverse, and the first one I ever did was the 10 worst nuclear disasters in history. Just breaking down like what they were, how they happen, how they affect things.
So for anybody wondering how all those things end up on Listverse.
Yeah. My newest article is going to be 10 things you didn't know about your left sock.
You don't need to bring that here. We've had enough of the left side. No, it's all good.
It's all right now. You brought that on yourself.
Let's see. So I think that turned out very nice. A little
Just for your own knowledge, Sean hates every one of my puns. You do.
Swear I'm not the Grinch. See, what are we scanning next? Some water purification tablets? Heck yeah, let's scan some water purification tablets.
Hey, Dub C.
Welcome, Dub C. We're doing an extended stream tonight. Gonna go on till probably 8. I'm gonna scan some more fun stuff like block out some light, block out more light. There we go. Like these tablets, water purification, individual chlorines. These are chlorine. I think these are, yep, these are halazone. Halazone.
What's halazone do?
I think with most of these, they're going to produce something that in the water will bind and either break down or pull down impurities.
Oh, okay.
But
it's like, I guess, kind of not a desalination tab, but a sani tab, like a sanitation tab.
I think Fordman's just discovered the secret of Chinese food.
Yeah.
Never full. Well, no. You're never full for the right amount of time. You're full for an incorrect period.
See, the trick with feeling full after Chinese food is ordering a pizza. Good question, Ford man. I don't know if we know the answer to that. Sean, do you know? Maybe do they still make halazone tablets at all?
I'm sure they still do.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if they make them for the military in anything particular. I think right now mainly we use chlorine tablets wherever we do tablet-based water purification. But I'm not sure.
Pete, I get it. March is forced on me too. I have to go through a whole month of it every year.
Wait.
Get it? March forced on me. The month of March. Maybe it was funnier in my head.
All right. Hopefully Corey doesn't hate us for doing this right after he goes to bed, but gonna have a fruit flapjack.
A fruit flapjack.
Some kind of thing. Oh man. Oh man.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's a little crumblier than I thought.
Yossi got my joke. Thank you, Yossi. Or at least I hope you're laughing at my joke, because nobody else will. It's like an oatmeal raisin cookie with no butter. Right?
It's got that like military muesli feel to it.
See, John, those were all the laughs.
Yeah.
Thank you for the support, guys. Really means a lot to me.
switch. Get you guys a perfect eagle-eye view. No, I don't know what I'm saying. Get you guys a close-up view. Scan. There we go. Still has sound, right? Okay, perfect. Usually I don't mess with making new scenes while in a episode, but it's been stable lately, knock on wood.
I honestly think this was the best one out of the chips from England. It's my favorite. The curry, katsu curry.
Katsu curry was pretty darn good.
The fish and chips was actually pretty delicious. It's almost like it had a tartar sauce on it. Definitely digging those onion rings, by the way, Yossi. Kind of reminded me of a Texas onion. You gotta. Curious, but now I want Indian food.
And a little korma, a little gobi, a lot of good Indian food.
I'm not kidding. I'd kill for a tikka masala right now.
I very much hope you're kidding.
Oh, I wouldn't actually kill something.
There you go.
Wait, is there a tikka masala ration?
Probably. So the British have a bunch more menus than we do at any given time, and they do have a lot of Indian food. So it's quite possible there's a British tiki masala. The Canadians have a ton of extra variety. They have a breakfast case, a lunch case, and a dinner case separate. So it's quite possible they do. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I guess the closest thing we ever came to it was a halal ration, which you said are some of the best rations.
Yeah, the halal rations are great. There's, I want to say 4 chicken, 4 lamb,
Ooh.
and 4 beef. I'm not sure.
Well, there you go. The Brits have a chicken tikka masala ration made.
Nice.
And Norwegian rations have a tikka masala?
That's what I'm getting at. Like, not just, I'm sure it's more than just one country. Oh man, the Norwegians have some of the best. You know, the little, those green packet Arctic rations.
Do they have like lingonberry jam in?
I don't know if I've ever run into any lingonberry stuff in a Norwegian one. I would assume they eat it, you know, I think Swedes first, but I assume it's not unheard of in Norway.
Brit halal rations are good. There's a French halal ration. Wow, but I could see that.
The French rations, the main ration has halal designated ones. Just like in the U.S. rations, the main ration has vegetarian designated ones. In France, there's ones that are vegetarian, and there's ones that are specifically marked without pork.
It makes a lot of sense, especially since France and Britain have a lot of, I guess they have a lot of like cultural integration because of how many like colonies they used to have in different areas of the world, especially England with India. So it kind of makes sense that they'd come across that some way, shape, or form.
Breaking up all these little kits and things. Sugar and coffee and matches and toilet paper with different eras. Let's see where we're at with these. Okay, so we're at
I think the U.S. has a designated kosher ration, right? Do they have kosher ration?
So kosher and vegetarian are now the same thing,
Hmm.
the same case in U.S. rations. Or no, sorry. Kosher halal are the same thing in U.S. rations in terms of like when you order kosher, you get the halal case. So I don't know if they go through both certifications, but they stopped making they stopped making a separate case for kosher. So there's a case for vegetarian, a case for halal, a case for standard, a case for first strike, a case for cold weather. And I think that's the core set of standard cases right now. I'm probably missing a few. I mean, like totem I wouldn't count, but we don't have a long range patrol case anymore. That got rolled into the meal cold weather. They're the same. I wish that did flatten the top.
Did it?
It doesn't give me the option either. Excuse me.
That's interesting.
I wonder what happens if I long press the top.
It's like a baby bottle.
I'm going to save it. It doesn't look too bad.
Sorry, now Pete's got me thinking of some nice tikka masala over some jasmine rice with some naan bread.
Is it bread or is it not bread?
It's interesting. There's a lot of UK rations out there, but I wonder if Northern Ireland has its own ration. Or is it the
Does anybody know if
or is it the Republic of Ireland that's not part of the UK? I always get them confused. One is not part of the UK.
I don't want to get it wrong. I don't know. Offhand.
No, it's Northern Ireland. No, I'm thinking about it now. Northern Ireland is part of the UK. Carla makes pizza with naan bread?
Oh, we were talking about that a few streams ago.
Really?
Not Carla, somebody else. I want to say it was Smitty or B Temple. It was either Smitty or B Temple. And now that I've heard it, it's going to be in the back of my mind until I try it, and then I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to go back to regular pizza.
Thank you, Kaylin. Yes, so Northern Ireland is part of the UK. The Republic of Ireland is its own separate country and in the EU.
So, Republic of Ireland rations? I don't know.
Yeah, just curious. Maybe, is there a standard EU ration?
There's NATO rations. There's no standard EU. There's member states all have their own. But there's like NATO and UN rations. So that could be close to what you're thinking. I have more bags. I'm going to get more bags. And I'll adjust this for another layer.
Actually, that makes sense, because NATO and the UN are peacekeeping forces. EU is not.
EU is just a union.
Yeah. Yes, Indian food and pizza. Chicken marsala is an Italian thing. There you go. Although my favorite food is chicken marsala, so I actually could go for that now too. Pete, it's funny you say that with all these people trying the Philly taco. Who's just talking about thin crust pizza in Philly? But
You making fun of it or?
no, well,
No.
I don't know. The Philly taco is kind of interesting if you don't like your arteries. Have you had it yet, Sean? Ever? The Philly taco?
I don't know. That's like an inside joke. No.
Oh, no. So you go to Jim Steaks on South Street, right? You order a cheesesteak. Then you go down the street to Lorenzo's where they make that like 2-foot long slice of pizza.
Right.
You take your actual steak sandwich from Jim Steaks and fold it into the slice of that pizza, and it's called a Philly taco. And it's like a big trend right now. But honestly, it's just like the greatest way to need like a quadruple bypass in a week because it's just grease.
Sounds great, actually.
Grease and bread. Oh man, fantastic. But I mean, come on, you're giving up years 50 to 65 of your life to eat that.
You know, it's my choice to make.
I mean, I would split a Philly taco with somebody.
Lady in the Tramp style?
It'd be kind of hard. It's okay, Carla. We know you mean masala.
Although, I get that, you know, it's interesting. So, like, I get these same meals that he gets, and we get these, like, frozen tray, healthy choice things, and there are tiki masala and chicken marsala.
Oh, that's right,
like,
there is.
Right next to each other. And my brain thinks, oh, I just had the chicken marsala yesterday. I'll have the tiki masala. And in my brain, I'm like, tiki and like a wine sauce. I wonder how that's going to... No, you idiot. It's masala. I mean, so, yeah, they're right next to each other. But the healthy choice does make both of them. I'm a fan of both. Masala and marsala. In cooking. At this point, no intention on
Carla,
finding out if I like marsala wine.
Carla, you like the Olive Garden? I thought we were cool.
It's, you know, it is the most authentic Italian cuisine globally, so I mean...
I swear to God, I will write so many new puns. I'm just kidding. Olive Garden's great for soups and salads and breadsticks.
I went there a couple years ago with Brian, our day job boss, and
Of course, Brian loves the Olive
I ordered the lasagna. It was the first time I had been to an Olive Garden in like 20 years, and I'm all excited. And I ordered the unlimited salad and breadsticks, only to be told it's no longer unlimited at that time. I don't know if it is again. This is like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. They're like, well, it's no longer unlimited. We're going to bring you a basket of breadsticks, and that's the end of it. I'm like, okay. And then they came out, and my portion of lasagna was, as a size comparison, about this big. Maybe even a little smaller. Maybe chop off this segment, and that's it. I was like, you know, it could have fit in my palm. And it's like, well, sir, you're supposed to blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you're supposed to give me lasagna. You're not supposed to, like, trick me into thinking that, I don't know, that I can enjoy it through osmosis or just by looking at it or something. I needed enough to eat, but, yeah, so I didn't go back to Olive Garden after that. It's been a while.
I don't know where Fazoli's is, but I'll just say this. So I'm not really... I hate on Olive Garden because my parents are from Italy, and there are members of the family who have gone there. We don't speak to them anymore. Just kidding. We talk to them around Christmas. But, yeah. My mother would disown me. Oh, Fazoli's is in Iowa. Is it a chain? Have you ever been to a Fazoli's?
I have not. Stop making words up.
It's they make the words up. Oh, okay, it is a chain. Got it.
We have a board and never mind. Nope. Nope.
You got the cameras. We got a board of made up Italian words.
Used to live right outside of Asheville. Wait, I'm thinking Ashland. No, Ashland's the one near Centralia. Asheville. I don't
know where Asheville is. But
scanning the stuff.
Actually, when you think about Philly, though, we are a great food town, aren't we, Sean?
Oh, we're an excellent food town. We're a top 5 in America food town, I think, in terms of like variety and quality. Like, we
could literally go next door and get one.
And I would think like San Francisco and New York. Now, I've never been to San Francisco, but I can't rule it out. I can't discount the fact that everybody in the world talks about how good the food is there. So, I don't know. Melting pot cities are great places for food. They really are. So, Philly has everything you'll want to try. Everything from Ethiopian to island food to
that's true.
Mongolian to not just like Mongolian barbecue, but like big old slab meat, carrot puree, and like weird. Like everything. European food, African food, South American, everything. But so New York beats the crap out of Philly for variety because they're just hidden everywhere. But there's not much.
Well, the beauty of Philly is walking distance. Like everything is like a walk. You can literally walk to any part of the city.
Moroccan food. I haven't had Moroccan food in a while. There is Moroccan here. Moroccan food is really good. Eat a lot with your hands. Same with Ethiopia.
Well, isn't that what the bread is for? I guess it's their version of a naan or a pita, right? I never had Moroccan food.
Have Moroccan food. It's worth it.
But yeah,
I think try everybody's food. Unless you have crazy food allergies or something, try everybody's everything. You have no idea what you're gonna find.
But if you ever come to Philly and you're hungry, just walk around your neighborhood for a while and you'll find something. We can literally go next door and get probably what I think is one of the most bomb porchetta sandwiches.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And
we haven't had that in a while.
It's Glory Beer Bar and Kitchen next door to us in Old City. They're really, really good food. Oh, hey, Mike Kreischer, welcome to the stream. We're running later than normal tonight. We're normally wrapped up by 7 on a Sunday, but this rig takes a little while to all put together. This setup we're looking at here. Let me swap views.
Because of LSI?
So, this is to give you guys a little bit more of an idea of what's going on. We've got a light box for today's setup with a camera on a boom arm that is running some 3D scanning software that we are using to slowly but surely build 3D scanned models of ration components for today. So stuff that's small enough to fit in this grid.
Whoa, it's a lot of locations.
Fazoli's. 215 places. Wow. Well, you're welcome, Mike. All right, let's see. Oh, nope, lost the scan, which means a whole extra pass. I hate that. Just so it's like scanning everything in a circle, and I'll miss like a wedge, and it'll pick back up and go from there, and then I just have to watch that unscanned wedge all the way back around on that layer. There's no shortcut. There's no picking it up and moving it while it's scanning.
You're correct, puppy breath. Philadelphia is the old 215.
Yep.
Could be the 267 now or the
215-267-610-484.
We ran out of numbers.
Probably more now.
That's a good question, actually.
All right, don't get lost this time. You got lost last time. Oh, you got lost.
It'll find its way.
You know what's going on.
Stroke the furry wall.
Flight of the Conchords?
No, get into the Greek.
Oh, okay.
Stroke the furry wall. Stroke the furry wall.
Got it.
How'd that one go? That one looks pretty good.
Let's see.
It's so tiny.
Yeah, you can't read it, but it's just going to be a tiny little thing. I don't know.
It didn't give you the option to flatten that one either. Maybe they're too small to flatten.
Yeah. I mean, it is round-ish.
Oh my god.
I'm just going smaller and smaller.
The cameras are like, this is adorable. Can't see it though.
Now, the nice thing about, the thing I'm looking forward to about the next generation camera when we improve again is, this thing's 3 or 4 years old or whatever now, so I'm sure when I get another setup, or when I get a new phone, and if it can do this program, it'll have a much better density camera.
Gotcha.
So the pictures will be of higher quality. I mean, like the part that it's seeing to make the scan will be more pixel dense.
Understoodificated.
Flight of the Conchords or Kiwis? Yes, they are.
Puppy Breath said BRB. Is that some sort of ration? Oh, if there's an LRP that's MC on there. Was that bad?
Oh, just stretching. Just stretching. Oh boy, we got spinning cans of things for days.
Wait, Mike, are you like Amish country, like Lancaster Amish country, or somewhere else in the States Amish country?
It says Indiana. The Ohio side of
Sorry,
Indiana, so,
didn't see that.
Yeah, I had a friend that went to school out in Earlham, Indiana. Trying to think of the name of that school. It was a friend's school, a Quaker place. And there, on the way out there, we went through some Indiana Amish country, and I was like, oh, this is familiar. This is like driving through central PA.
Oh, my mom brought back 2 apple crumble pie from Stoltz's out in Lancaster. It's like a big Amish bakery. Them Amish know what they're doing.
Yeah, I like Amish, just about anything food-wise.
Oh, my God.
I mean, it's just I don't know. I like not having to avoid any foods.
Like shoe fly pie. Oh, my God.
And I'll say this. I'm never trying to shame or push anybody, but losing 130 pounds was the best thing I ever did. I don't have to hide from food anymore in terms of if I'm careful and if I reduce my calories somewhere else in the week, I can eat a pile of sugar if that's what I want to do. So when I was 300 pounds, that was not a safe thing to do. So just getting back to a healthier weight opened up opportunities for food that otherwise, could have caused harm.
He done did a lot for me too, guys. Oh wait, you can't see me. Well, he done did a lot for me too, guys. I lost 53 pounds because of Sean and his sister.
Good job, man. Keep going. I don't
want to go.
So you don't have to keep the intentional effort to stay healthy going. Is what I meant. You don't have to keep losing weight.
Well, no. Now I've moved on to bodybuilding, but I would have never found that system on my own. But Sean's a math guy that does all the sciencing.
I wanted to lose weight for a long time, but I didn't commit to it. And when I did, it was commit or don't commit. And when I committed, it was just do the math. and it was a lot of math. And I had like, on this day I'll be this weight, on this day I'll be this weight, on this day I'll be this weight, going out about a year and a half from when the diet started. And I just had to keep telling myself throughout, if I screw up, if I don't stick to this, if I get lazy, then I have to do all the math again. And I didn't want to do all the math again. So it was funny. When I started the diet, I said I would hit my goal weight the first week of June 2020, and I did that same week. It was, within 4 days or 5 days from the beginning, from the original estimate. Math.
Well,
Lots of math.
I also think one of the parts that I had to learn about was just like be honest with yourself on the diet. If you do mess up one day,
just write it down.
Write it down and eat less the next day, And
you don't. It doesn't matter. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And if you keep track of everything, then it's easy to be realistic about it.
That Amish diet would definitely have me putting on some weight real fast. Oh my God, their food is so good.
Yeah. We're going back to Columbus Flea Market someday soon. So that's over in Jersey, I believe. But there's quite a bit out there.
Wow.
Amish food.
Well done, Carla.
Oh yeah,
that is one hell of a feat. And we all fluctuate in the winter. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not at my perfect weight at this point, but I'm much closer and much happier than I've been for years and years and years. So,
hey, I mean, I started.
Hey, Fordman, D&D, you just need someone in your group that's good at math. That's all. I got somebody else that does all of that. It's all the calculation. I just gotta throw a die and say 17.
You're playing D&D. You're playing D&D. We're all playing D&D.
I love D&D.
Never actually.
That's my Saturdays is tabletop gaming.
How many people can actually be in a D&D game?
I don't think
Is there
there's
like a limit?
I don't think there's a limit. It's a very flexible thing. Is kind of the point of it. It's like it's all what you make of it. Paper, some rules, and some general guidelines and stuff, and then everything else is you make it up yourself and just have fun. I mean, it was funny in the 90s and the 70s and the 80s and whatever. It's like satanic. It's just hilarious. Like that everybody had such concern over such a simple nerdy thing.
Carla, no, I get it. It's definitely too cold to go outside in the winter. That definitely barred me from the gym a few times. But I found a way. I just kind of built like a home gym in my house. That way I had no excuse not to work out somehow. Although it was really, really hard. But, rowing machine, I used like one of those, you could find them all over the place. Virtual, what is it called? Not running. Virtual like event apps. So I found one that lets you do virtual marathons, and I just finished the Mount Fiji marathon. And if I row a mile on the rowing machine, I track it in the app, and then it'll add it like I went part of the 46 miles. Oh, you did do that. Okay. Yeah, see, I mean, it's great. I like the rowing machine. If I could, I would swim, but then my gym that did have a pool closed, and, because of COVID, so I had to, beggars can't really be choosers. And I wasn't allowed to build an indoor pool in my basement, so, that kind of gets in the way.
Dang, homeowners associations always ruining good ideas.
Stupid city engineers with their zoning requirements. But no, I mean, it's just, look, what I told a friend of mine, I introduced a friend of mine to your whole diet plan too, Sean. It's been working out for him because, he definitely put on the COVID-19 and then some. But, it's just like, do something. Something is always better than nothing. If you go to the gym and you have no idea what form is, when people are like, oh, you're lifting wrong. Well, at least you're lifting, right? It's the same principle.
Yeah, and just make a list of those people, for for when the revolution comes.
Yeah.
Gonna scan a Hershey's Desert Buck. What?
A desert bar? Is it just like a Hershey's chocolate bar for the desert?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
This particular issue was for the Gulf War.
That's awesome looking. I like the wrapper. It seems like it's crumbly.
It is crumbly. It has a pinhole in it.
Now, I got a question. Are these packages something that we could, like, down the road, clear wax over or something similar to that so they don't?
We'll look it up. I don't know. I don't know what the best.
That'll be for the resto stream.
Yeah, I don't know what the best is for plastic or cardboard yet.
But we know what we got for metal.
But I know what I want to do for metal. Exactly. And we'll just learn one step at a time. We'll figure out what we should be doing, what we could be doing.
Oh, Carly, you were on the swim team? That's awesome. So I guess I never told Sean, but like last week he just found this. So my dad used to be an Olympic swimmer back when he lived in Italy.
Casually talk this out.
And I was talking about it, and Sean's like, "Wait, what? You failed to mention this?"
So how do you talk about your father 40, 50 times to someone before, mentioning this, instead of like every time you say anything about your father being like, oh yeah, my father, the bronze medal winning Olympic swimmer. I mean, he's not just an Olympic swimmer, he's a medal holder. I mean,
yeah, but it wasn't that important back then, like it is now. I mean, the guy came here and became a carpenter, so if that tells you,
Hey, Robert, welcome to the stream.
Hi, Robert.
8 minutes. Go back to 8 minutes into the video at some point after the whole thing posts. We opened up the sea ration case that you donated. So thanks so much for that, and thanks for coming to the stream. It's 8 minutes in. It was way back in the beginning. But yeah. Olympic bronze medal winning dad of Nick.
By the way, Ford man, fly fishing is awesome. I would just like to eventually catch something that isn't in the form of seaweed and or algae. So I suck at fish. I'm really bad at fishing. I've been like sea fishing in the Mediterranean. That's awesome. But like I can't fly fish. I'm sorry.
Fordman, that takes me back to Montana. Gotta miss it. I had some gold panning stuff that I never found gold with, but always had fun with until your hands and, legs up to the knees are just so cold you can't stand it anymore from the mountain streams. But, and fly fishing, I'm with Nick. I fly fished for 10 years. I don't want to say how few things I actually caught in the 10 years, but honestly, I had a lot of fun on the excursions, and that was the point to me, at least. I had a drift boat, and I had more fun guiding, rowing the boat and holding it for somebody else so that they could, fish a particular eddy or whatever, than I did fishing. I had way more fun rowing and controlling and, exploring in the boat.
Robert, we're doing good. Thanks for asking. We're just hanging out, scanning stuff, trying to get the camera to work out, as best we can. But our custom setup's working out well. Yossi, you're a cook. That's okay. My mom has a saying. Oh, there it is. Thanks again, Robert. My mom has a saying, you don't trust a skinny chef, okay? So I trust you even more now. And if I ever get out there to Israel, definitely want to come where you're at, man, and try your food. Pete, yes, we've all caught a whole lot of seaweed. I literally had a whole day of just breaking lines. I don't know if anybody who's ever been to Philly has ever been to FDR Park. But I used to go down there to fish. Well, it's mostly seaweed, and you wind up pulling up like 30 pounds at a time to the point that your line just keeps like breaking and breaking. Sean, Mike is from Montana.
Oh, really? I lived in Bozeman for 10 years. I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna guess off the top of my head, Missoula or Billings.
Not you.
Butte's, Butte's a wonderful place. I'm just there's not
a lot going on.
Not a lot of people, so it's not on my most likely choices.
See, my mother is smart. Don't trust the skinny chef.
Most likely guesses, but population-wise, I want to say Butte's like.
Well,
no wait, I always I always got the wrong number in my head because Butte was 90 minutes from me, so my brain kept saying 90,000, and it's wrong. So now I realize I don't actually know.
Well, Butte's the home of the Evel Knievel Festival.
It is indeed the home of Evel Knievel.
Yeah.
Or the birthplace.
I was watching Richard
Great Falls. Oh, hey, Malmstrom Air Force Base. The one of the larger fields of nuclear weapons in the world is based out of Great Falls.
Is that part of the nuclear belt?
I mean, I would say, yeah, the Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota silo set is part of that.
Gotcha.
There's like 238 silos or something in Montana. I forget what it was. There's a lot.
Gotcha.
There's a lot of active installations and, dummy installations, so you don't know exactly what to shoot.
Aha.
I had a friend who was a commander there for a while.
Strategery.
Almost.
Wow, that was an opportune place to learn. Yes, Yossi, my mother is smart. She had me. Oh, okay. Mike's dad was in the Air Force.
Gotcha. Don't have to get the back of that. For now. Everything can...
Looks like it actually got it pretty good. Oh, that looks really good, John. Sorry.
No, I was just thinking, methamphetamine sulfate? No. Dextroamphetamine sulfate, not methamphetamine, but still.
What's up, J-Dub?
Oh, well, hey, keeping the stream going, everybody's getting to trickle in.
The homies are here.
Weird burn kit. Interesting.
What?
I don't know where I got this, to be honest.
Is that a real John? Wait, Bentonville State Park. That might be like some sort of wrapped around a St. Bernard's neck or something. Like...
Bentonville is also the home of Walmart.
Oh. Well, maybe in case you get lost in a Walmart.
Let's see. Anything from in here? I didn't scan. So, got quite a few varieties of these. But they're not going to scan well, so I'm going to leave them be for now. Ooh, that's what I want to do.
Oh!
Scan in the bars.
That was pretty good. I think if you flatten it, it'll be alright.
Yeah, let's flatten this. So these are going to be reflective. That's always the challenge. Okay, so we're going to try with the plate for this set.
I really enjoyed that. What did we have? Not an apple cinnamon one. I forget. Is there like a strawberry one or something? We had a first strike bar in one of the rations before, but it was delicious.
We had a raspberry. Or no, we had a cranberry.
We
had a cranberry.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, there's...
A little chewy.
Apple cinnamon's the most common. There's, of those types, there's chocolate, there's cranberry, there's apple cinnamon. So probably a bunch more.
Is the chocolate like a fudge one, sort of, or
no,
it's just like a hard?
It's the same of the big ones. They're all the same kind. And then the smaller ones, they make these like mini, kind of like
a bite size.
Yeah, they're soft. They're like fudge, but not quite. And there's like chocolate. There's mocha. There's banana. There's a couple varieties there. I like the banana nut one the most. But it's probably going to go rancid way earlier. The first strike cran raspberry. That's what it was. Cran raspberry.
Thank you, Carla. Yeah, it was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Actually, it's the only first strike I've ever tried. But apparently, you could get a few cases of them online. So just for future purposes of me trying them and familiarizing myself with a lot of things, I might snag one. And
70,992 triangles, 103,951 vertices, or something. 109,361. Man, my eyes aren't the best. So that's a lot of points on a model for a candy bar.
Looks like these models are really shaping up.
Yeah, they are. Shaping up just fine. Shake, 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 shake.
One day on stream, you're just gonna see, you know, the camera mount fly at me.
It's all good.
I'm sorry, it's Sean.
Nothing to apologize for.
Sean's not gonna let me on stream anymore after today, guys. I'll be reduced to sticking sticky notes in ration boxes.
This
It really does smell like fish and chips.
it's like a, you know, it should be, it's like a plate of fish and chips just came out of the back of a restaurant like minutes ago. Like I just picked it up and it just wafted up.
It really tasted good. Like that actually was tremendous.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? You ever been to like a is it Sailor Jerry's or what's the other one?
Sailor Jerry's is a type of alcohol.
Not Sailor Jerry's, but what the hell's that fish place called? Heck, sorry. What's the fish place called? Oh man.
Fish Pockets.
No, there's one out by Atlantic City. Oh my god, it's gonna kill me.
Long John Silver.
There you go.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh, they used to be literally everywhere. Like, yeah, Long John Silver's was a nationwide chain, but I think they went bankrupt at some point, or they almost went bankrupt. Yeah, the apple cinnamon First Strike bars are a little chewy. I mean, they all are, but you know, it is a bit.
Night, Mike. Mike's got a scheduled power outage.
Oh, interesting. I guess they're firing up the Great Falls Super Reactor. Time to get this thing going. No, I have no idea. Why would Great Falls be having a scheduled outage? Testing something, maybe? Interesting. But have a good one.
He's for military infrastructure. Hey, what's up with that, Sean?
Hey, good catch. Bottom ones you can catch pretty sizable chunk at once. I guess I didn't set it on there super evenly. I can see why it sticks off further on that side than it does on that side, but it's too late. I'll move it.
It's more natural that way.
More natural. Okay, it's 8 o'clock. I want to get these 2 additional bars after this one scanned, and then I'm going to call it.
I agree, Ford, man. Long John Silver's was one of the few places you could get decent fish and chips.
Hush Puppies. You could go to Long John Silver's and you could get a basket of Hush Puppies for like a nickel. It was like nothing. I don't know why anyone got anything else. As soon as I got a car, like the moment I was 16 and could go out and do my own stuff without somebody saying, hey, that's not a good decision. You shouldn't be doing that. First time I went to a fast food place at all by myself was Long John Silver's, and I ordered like 6 orders of Hush Puppies and nothing else.
What's that?
A Hush Puppy is just a hunk of cornbread, battered and fried in like the fish fry oil, so
Never
it tastes like fish, but it's, oh my god.
Well, I know they serve catfish in Hush Puppies, right? Like that's a thing.
Yeah, Hush Puppies do go very well with catfish.
Oh, this weekend, by the way, I'll be bringing in arancini for one of these days for lunch. So, like an Italian Hush Puppy.
Oh, I know arancinis. Yeah, they're good. Nice.
It's just a ball of like risotto with meat and peas on the inside, and you bread it and deep fry it. Because what isn't good deep fried?
Are you sure you're not Pennsylvania Dutch?
Well, in England, so in Yorkshire, they have fish and chips with scraps. And that is, there's like little batter that falls off when you drop something in the deep fryer. And they serve the scraps. And you just...
That sounds good.
Yeah.
See, we got a, we got a follower, I mean, we got a a chorus of agreement here around the glory of hush puppies.
When I grew up, hush puppies were shoes, man.
I think I've heard that.
Yeah, no, the hush puppies were the stupid school shoes my parents used to make me buy to go with my uniform, and I hated them. They are evil.
Man, this arm idea. Kaylin, I can't say thanks enough for putting this in my head. This works very, very well.
Sorry,
Again, just to come back and take a look at the whole thing. You know, it's cameras up there. We get it into a position and just let go, and it holds up until, you know, the next time we need to shift it.
Puppy Breath remembers the suffering of hush puppy shoes. Those were dark times.
Almost. And then we got to process it, then we got to flatten and reprocess it, then we got to highlight it, then we got to save it.
Should get museum Crocs.
No, it's been good. It's been good.
Why?
You can go.
Do you hate Crocs?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
How do you not find
Oh, no, they're awful, repulsive things to put
hard
on
chunks of rubber with holes in it to be... anyway. Hush puppies from Payless?
Yes, that's exactly what they were, Carla, and they were awful. They were the most uncomfortable shoe on the planet.
I think 17th century Japan has some shoes you need to try.
No, the wood soles would have been fine.
No, I'm talking about the like geisha binding shoes that like break your feet and make you unable to run and all that kind of. Never mind.
My parents bought me these shoes because I couldn't run, so I couldn't run away at the park. That was the whole point.
It's like getting the dog without legs.
Kaylin loves Crocs, Sean.
Oh no.
Oh. We could wear camo Crocs to be more authentic.
Whew. Definitely.
Definitely a little hard on the joints.
Get a little more tired by the end of it, but this is good for me. Yeah, more time on my feet.
You know, if you had Crocs on your feet.
Let me go back to putting things away and not talking to Nick.
Guys, if they find me bound up in a carpet somewhere with a Croc stuffed in my mouth, it was most definitely not Sean.
I'd be way more creative than that.
I actually never worn a Croc, and I will never wear a Croc. Yossi, in Israel, if it's that hot, I would just wear flip-flops, honestly, man. I wouldn't wear a Croc. Although, like, I knew people who worked in, like, pretty hot, like, kitchens, like, outdoor kitchens that did wear Crocs, because at least it's, like, a way for your feet to breathe, but not entirely exposed to the elements. But hey, if I went to Israel, I'd be swimming in the Dead Sea, man. I'd be a beach bum.
Isn't that enjoyable? I don't know.
It's shared. Yeah, the Dead Sea is near Masada.
Uh-oh. Restart. Oh. Wait.
If you hit OK, it won't restart. OK.
It's like restart. Okay or restart.
Restart or restart. You know.
That was, that would be horrible timing. I mean, if that happens, goodbye in advance, but, we should be good. I do not intend to live in a place that is 100 degrees or more. Let's just put that out there. Don't intend to live in a place. People moved to Arizona on purpose. People drove through Arizona in their wagon trains 200 years ago and kept going. And then somewhere around 150 years ago, people said, you know what, I'm gonna start stopping here. Around 100 years ago, people said, this endless expanse of sandy nothing, let's build a city here and try and cram 7 million people into it.
And get water to
And then somewhere around the 1970s and 80s, people said, you know what this city's missing? Green yards. Let's steal California and Colorado's water and bring it here so that our yards are packed. Phoenix will be reclaimed by the desert someday. Just saying.
Phoenix is actually one of the most quickly growing cities in the U.S. right now.
Reclaimed by the desert someday.
On that day, you will see Sean wearing basketball shorts and Crocs. I promise you. I'm kidding. He's going to hurt me.
Well, there are folks that have thousands of years of history with Arizona, though, not as many anymore if there are remaining peoples attached to it. But, Israel, I can understand. There's thousands and thousands of years of reasons to want to be in that region, So.
There's over 100 something different. There's over 120 something different nationalities in Israel. I mean, people make pilgrimage to that country all the time.
Fair enough, but how many nationalities are in the United States? All of them. No, I don't know.
America is the world.
You go to one region of New York City, you feel like
what happened?
You don't know what you're not. You don't know what you're missing. I'm starting to get stumbly voiced.
Hey, I mean, if you go to Little Italy in New York, you feel like you're in Rome. I mean, there's cannolis.
Converse shoes. Oh, I used to wear Chuck Taylor All Stars for years and years and years. When a pair would finally die, I'd box it and just get another pair, but of the same shoes. But I haven't worn them in years. They weren't great for my feet.
Those are very uncomfortable shoes.
I wouldn't say that.
I don't like pure rubber sole shoes because they will hurt after a while.
We talk about some completely random stuff by the end of these streams.
What are thoughts on people who wear Chucks with tuxedos? Because I'm against it. Tuxedos. What?
Just one more bar. Just gotta scan one more bar.
Why do I laugh so much at jokes? Somebody's gonna love me for me one day. What I thought. Chucks and tucks. Keith Shoemaker.
Fair enough, Keith. Yeah, at this point, I've pretty much doxed myself to high heaven. There's no hiding. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get stopped on the street eventually by someone trying to get our sweet rations. Almost. Sorry, starting to wind down. One more scan.
Jesse, I get why people wear J's. I'm not a big sneaker guy. I'm literally wearing sneakers right now, and it's the only pair I've owned for 2 years. and I work out with them at the gym. Like, that's it.
I was about to say, I don't care. I'm wearing X brand, and look down, and no, I wasn't. I haven't for years, so that's where I'm at. Laughing fatigue. Yeah, that's where we're at. Oh, hey, thanks, Carla. I'm a big fan of Hawaiian shirts.
Wait, you've been laughing? I've been crying.
It sounds about the same.
Awkward cry laugh.
Almost. Let's see. We got another scan done.
One more bar.
Texturing. Yep, we'll do sample cinnamon. Doing good on the bars.
I don't have a bar for this.
That's a sign and a half. Never getting tired.
It's going to be along the lines of, like, nothing can bar us from scanning, but I feel like...
Okay.
Oh, no wonder everybody...
That was fantastic coffee at the beginning of the stream, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Again.
Yeah.
I don't know how you did that.
What?
No, I mean, I do, but like...
Oh.
I mean, it was like a magical transformation.
Yeah. Cold water makes instant coffee emulsify. I don't know why. The stream is discussing shoes.
I mean, it's our fault.
Yeah, looks like the shoe's on the other foot now.
I mean, this is. If somebody wants to like go back through and count how many times he's done this just to irk me.
Wait, does it really bother you? I want to know.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Good. It's not punishment or anything. All right. So we got hoo-ah.
Oh, that one came through pretty nice.
Got hoo-ah done. And we got the hoo-ah oorah done. I think that came through very nice. Oh, wait. I'm starting to want to take the wrong things apart.
Oh, wait, we're scanning this one.
Yep. Okay. Good night, Gail. Thanks for coming out. And Puppy Breath. Good to have you both here. Good to have everybody here. It's been a fun one.
Bye, everybody. Who's leaving?
And Jesse, and fair enough for everybody. To start wandering. Literally just gonna finish this last scan and then call it. I'm just boxing some stuff in the meantime, and then we'll pack up and roll out of here. Now, at some point soon, hopefully we'll be starting a real fundraiser. Now that the website's starting to be a website that you can direct people to, and we can start to talk about what our goals and needs and that kind of stuff are. But chief among those needs is a second room, because if we, technically the first room, since I'm still paying out of pocket personally for that. I don't want to do that forever because I can't, but for now it's okay. It's what's needed to get us moving. But a second room is definitely too much for me to handle. But when we get there and can get, some fundraising around that, we need a room where we can set stuff like this up and leave it set up. And then the next stream come in and just use it. Not even just the next stream. Like, we work in this building, so if it was easy for me to come down over a lunch break and scan 3 or 4 more things, I would. Or, to stay after work or to come in early and scan some things, or to have folks that live somewhat close. I'm looking at you, Pete, to come scan some things, and or take photos or whatever it happens to be, with a space that's set up to do it. If at some point a space that can actually do restoration with a good sink and all that too would be nice, but there are other ones in the building we might be able to use that just aren't good for streaming spaces. But and then we'll be able to do scanning and photography space kind of permanent, and set up the stream in there. Put an actual computer in instead of the laptop. The camera Yossi sending out can be mounted somewhere, and all that stuff, so that we get a little more professional. But for now, it's still just two guys in the basement doing whatever.
Two guys in a basement.
That's how a lot of good things start. Two guys in a garage, two guys in the basement. I mean, well, it's not just the two of us. There's a lot of folks now involved. But in terms of coming in here and scanning things, power's back for Mike. So you got another chunk on this layer, and then another 2 layers, and then we're good. Let me show you guys again where we're at.
Mike, you missed some really good puns.
Yeah, he had some good ones. So that'll just to show again what it is that we're doing here. So we've got, just to recap, we've got the software QLONE, clone with a Q, running on just a cell phone. Does need a slightly powerful phone, but this is a couple-year-old Pixel, nothing amazing. And then these mats are the only other part of it that they just give you the print pattern, and you can make them yourself and print them out. So we were doing that at first, and then I had a company make these up for us.
Sorry, Yossi, I saw that you posted that a couple times. I didn't want to interrupt Sean, but I'm actually gonna. You don't have to worry about that. I'm actually gonna run to the store at some point and grab the big one of that here.
I'm gonna keep drinking this one and the Arabica that you sent, and we haven't even opened the can yet, so we have a lot of coffee.
We should try next time make a frappe with the Arabica. It's just a different roast, instantized or instantificated, whatever they call this process.
Freeze dried.
Oh.
But
that was cool.
But yeah, we've got a lot of coffee from you to go, to try still. We've got 2 types we have, or no, the one type we haven't had at all.
What, the canned one? Yeah, that's true.
Definitely got to try that.
Last little corner. That's different.
It works.
Yeah.
No, that's what I've been doing the whole night. I don't know if you guys can see in there, but yeah, it has to get pretty much right up to the top of the box to do that last part. But
Carla, Sean and Cafe Bustelo are not friends.
I had a bit too much Cafe Bustelo once.
I'm a big fan of Lavazza.
I'm sure I could still like it. I don't know what would happen if I have any flashbacks. I made 52 double espressos with Cafe Bustelo, and then I boiled them down into a shot glass and drank it when I was an 18-year-old idiot. Don't do that. Don't do that. No one do that. And it's one of those things that sticks in your head. Like, the first thing you drink too much of and get sick on is something you don't really want to
ever
drink anymore. Like, for me, that was gin. But now I don't drink anything, so there we go.
I'm a big fan of Lavazza. Just a sort of standard brand of espresso.
All right. No more super lights for the moment. We got this winding down. We got this cranking out the last attempt at making a model. and then we'll call it good.
You're killing me.
Yossi, I have no idea. The word loof just popped into my head.
What's that?
Is that like a puddingy kind of dessert over there? You're saying if there's anything specific. I
Is there a canned shakshuka?
think it was called loof.
Is there? I like a solid shakshuka. So if there's a canned version of shakshuka, I'll totally
I
eat
have
it.
no idea what that
It's
is.
an Israeli pepper stew,
Ooh.
and you throw like an egg in it.
Oh, don't be sorry. No, I gotta try it actually. There's some, or try it again in my adult, years. See if it has that reaction or not.
Oh my god! My knee just asked why was I bending it.
So did my left hand.
My knee just had all sorts of questions.
These are perfect height. We'll just
Yeah.
keep them as is and stick them like I was showing
Yep.
in the back in a minute. But let's see, we're almost done flattening, and then we've successfully made, I don't know, like what, 10 more models tonight, probably.
We had some really good conversations about different stuff.
Let's see. I'll put that one around like that. And there we go.
Sweet, I'm just gonna put this outside.
First Strike, Hua, and Hua Ura. Catalog. 3D. So we got, 6, 9, 12. We got 14 new models tonight. I think that's pretty darn cool. Loop.
He said he can make
Uh,
shakshuka.
What, Yossi, what's the stuff? It's like a pudding almost. Not loop then. I'll have to look it up. I'll send you a message if I can think about it in the next day or so. But pepper stew, interesting.
Yeah.
German hardtack can be like the graham crackers. All right, I'm starting to get loopy. I think I'm gonna need to go eat an actual meal. Careful with all of
I'm
that.
just unplugging the.
Okay. Because it's also, yeah. Anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. Well, not immediately right then and there, but I'm not going to be doing a show next week. It'll be Easter Sunday. I may be with family, may not certain yet, but either way, 2 weeks from now will be a stream from my house. We'll be doing another restoration stream. We will have the protective gear, the personal protective equipment so that we're not sprayed in the face with botulism containing slime from the past. We've got the can't remember can opener.
The soft edge can opener.
No, it doesn't have soft in it.
Soft. Yes,
It doesn't have soft in it.
smooth edge.
Smooth edge can opener. Okay, that's what it was.
The same thing.
I couldn't remember what word it did have. I just remembered what word it didn't have. So the smooth edge can opener, the metal the metal wax for sealing the cans once we take the rust off, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a good stream, but enjoy yourselves next weekend, whether you celebrate or don't. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. And in the meantime, keep an eye on rationmuseum.com. I've been improving the site a lot over the last week, and I'm going to keep making changes. And I want your feedback. Reach out. Let me know if there's anything you guys think of, anywhere you want to, suggest some content or anything like that. I'd love to hear it. So happy Easter next weekend. And until we see you guys, remember to stay rational. Have a great one.
Adios.